right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safely Liquid Beer for the podcast.
Be right again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
Hello!
It's Matt Static, AM Radio.
It's the Cool Bed Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
And a good... What are we doing over there, Trev? Oh, is that me still? Oh, does it keep going? I thought, well, you went to the buttons right away. They're Good Friday morning, too. Welcome to the Nielson Show, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube Trev. With you here. Oh, I think Dusty... I always thought there was just a conch on that.
There is a conch on that.
Oh, is there?
Trev was supposed to do it.
Oh, you just want that? Oh, so you're supposed to... But it's not on the song.
No.
Good morning. Welcome.
See,
How's
it's
everyone?
funny that I know that, and you don't.
Well, there's a few things
We talked
here.
about it before.
I have never hosted a morning show in my life. I have never been on the desk or in the main chair for a morning show in my life. This goes back to my 14 years at 1260.
Wow.
I did everything I could to not be part of the morning show.
What have I done to be in this situation with Maddie's inaugural morning show in the big chair? This is great.
This is monumental. Where were you when Matt Iwanyk hosted the Nielson Show?
Yeah.
There's also the thing of like, I haven't been where Trev has sat in months.
Oh,
in
right.
months.
I forget you were there too.
I've been so I knew what was going on with the morning show.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I don't know what goes on at 6 o'clock anymore at the morning show. I'm asleep. I'm fast asleep through 6 o'clock. So there are things I don't know. So that's why you've been here now for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And Trev's been doing the morning show. Fantastic work behind the camera for a long, long time now. So I'm going to trust you guys. You guys are going to have to carry me through the show. Take my hand and walk me through this show because I'm throwing him under the bus right off the bat and Dustin Nielson. He doesn't leave anything behind for people that have to fill in as to what we have to do. He just expects that everyone is going to sit in this chair, whoever has to fill in for him, and know exactly what needs to get done. And I even sent him an email a couple nights ago going, hey, what aligners need to get done? And no response.
Oh, nice.
No response. And at 1260, anytime I actually produced that show, like sat where Eric sat, I would mess things up because I didn't know everything. And then I get ripped by the audience.
Oh, no.
Because, like, how do you not, why aren't you playing this? Why aren't you doing this? And I'm like, well, the boys didn't leave me anything.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know I had to go play this. For that, I honestly thought with the 6 o'clocker check-in song, I always thought the conch was in there.
Oh, yeah.
So there we go. I learned that it's not
It's a huge responsibility. I've messed it up a few times. I double pressed once. so I canceled it. Oh, no. It's like how Trev felt when he, after that one sports update yesterday.
What happened on the sports update?
Oh, my God.
No comment.
Yeah.
I heard a sports update coming in, and it was great.
No,
He's
it was,
improved from what I've been listening.
Yeah, no.
The writing's improved, but I had a hard time saying Indianapolis.
Oh, my God.
It was tough. It was tough. If you play back the clips, I completely butchered it, but we persevered. We laughed through it. It was pretty good, honestly.
I was like Rocky in Rocky 4, with up on the apron with the towel, throwing the towel.
This is what I have to deal with. Bob, Loblaw, and Lloyd. Maddie, you missed the conch. Bones and Bleep goes sideways 15 seconds in. Joel, amateur. Dusty didn't leave me anything, and I always get ripped for it. And people then just rip me. Rip Dustin for not preparing his fill-in hosts. It doesn't take much. When I leave on vacation, I send an email the day before to everyone that needs to know everything and go, this is what you have to do. Dusty sends nothing.
I've seen your preparation before you leave, Maddie. It's next level. But it's funny how the nasties they'll miss the slightest thing. They know.
This is why I stay away from the morning show. I could do any other show back at 12:60, and I know if I mess something up, no one's saying anything. These people you're too loyal. You're too into this show, and you know it better than I do. So that when I mess things up, it messes things up for everyone else. Their morning's messed up. Their day's ruined.
It's Friday.
I'm blaming Dusty. If you have any issues, if anything goes wrong for the next 3 hours, tweet at Dusty. Say, why didn't you give Matt the info that was necessary? That's how it goes. That's how this goes. The Nielson Show presented by South Fort Chevrolet. This month, it's employee pricing once again. Save up to $12,000 on new Tahoe or Suburbans, or save up to $14,000 on Silverado 1500s and HDs. Or if you choose not to take the discount, you can get 0% financing on selected trucks and SUVs. And they're also launching a back-to-school drive initiative to fill a truck with school supplies for local donations, asking people to drop off new grade school supplies at South Fort Chev during regular business hours. And each donation comes with a chance to win a detail package and a $150 gift card to Source for Sports. We're live in the Popeyes Chicken Louisiana studio, who have boneless wings, a continuation of their bone-in wing platform, which allow customers to choose between the ghost pepper bone-in wings or the all-white eat boneless wings. Get those texts in 780 218-9999. That is the Paris Jewelers inbox. You could also jump into the nasty chat. We do have the $20 to A&W for a text of the day. We'll get to the kind of easy trivia just after 8 o'clock for Mr. Mike's. On the show today, we will talk some Canadian Football League. Matt Scianitti from TSN. He'll be by at 8:20. We got Beer of the Week. I'm here, so one thing I get to do is I get to be a little selfish. It's Trev's favorite thing. It's week 0 in college football. Shehan Jeyarajah of CBS Sports. He's going to be by at 7:05 as we're going to get you set for the start of the college football season. Trev is a big fan of the idea that this week is called week 0.
Oh, really?
Next weekend is the official, it's week 1.
It's week
That's
0,
when everything starts. And it's always started Labor Day weekend. So now people call this one week 0. And yesterday on the Hangout, Trev's just like, I really think that's the way to go. I think that is fantastic. Calling something week 0 makes a lot of sense. Right, Trev?
This is rubbish. That was the exact opposite of what I said. Why? It's week 1. If you're starting this week, that is the first week. I don't care if it's a full week. You start. That's when you start, okay? It's week 0. It's complete rubbish. I don't get it. What are your thoughts? Isn't that silly? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah. What the heck?
Yeah. There. I don't.
Well,
it doesn't
bother me as much as it does
week 1
you. But
starts Labor Day.
Yeah.
Labor Day weekend. But week 1, can it go for over a week?
But it starts this week. So essentially, this is week 1.
I think I agree with Trev on this one. I think it's this is week 1. It's not week 0. Last week was week 0, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because there was no week.
It's like week 0.
I said, when when the commentators say it's their first kickoff of the season, that's the first kickoff. It's not the 0 kickoff of the season. So that's my thoughts on that. Mic drop.
I think it's great. I think it's that they're doing something unique. And you want to know, so when the Oilers take to the ice, do they start against the Jets this season? That's game 0. of the season. And it's game 0 of the season, and it's going to be very exciting. Good morning, Maddie. You sound chipper this morning. How was I to you guys this morning? Because I'm
fine.
usually awful in the mornings. I'm not going to lie.
Well,
And neither of you two would have ever seen me in the mornings, really.
I thought every time I see you come in, though, I thought someone had pooped in your Cheerios.
Like when I walk
when
in?
you walk in, like there's, and it's like what time do you get? 8:30.
8:30. No, I just don't want to disturb
Oh, really?
the show on air. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, every time he walks in, it's like, is Maddie mad at me? You know, like, what did I do? It's the power you wield within the first 15 minutes.
I don't want to distract. Every morning I wave to Trev.
Yeah, but if I'm just looking for any sort of, just a hi. Like everyone comes in and says hi. Like even you don't have to say anything, but even like a backwards wave. Like go to your office with just with the hand up, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if you're paying attention.
Either way.
So you wouldn't know. Maybe I've been doing that and you just haven't noticed as I got to my office. You watched the whole walk?
I watched the Maddie walk back to the office. I'm like, geez, what's wrong?
I will say I was quite pleased with you came in and you were smiling and I was like, oh, that's new. You gave me a smile. I'm like, Maddie, what's up? And then just to start, I agree. This is nice.
Well, what's woken me up a little bit was I had to do the bear hit, so I got to talk to Yukon and McCord, and that got me right going. Except it's funny because like Scott McCord is a guy I've known McCord for a long time. And we'll get to morning announcements right away here, which is brought to you by 100.3 The Bear, which features Yukon and McCord on the morning show and Jess Jackson in the afternoon. I've known McCord for a very long time. I've known Yukon for a very long time. We're all very good friends. Yeah. I haven't spoken verbally with Scott McCord probably since June.
Oh, really?
And it's like, hey, man, it's great seeing you, talking to you. Yeah, it's great. Are you ready to go? Like, there's no little, like, do you want to talk for 2-3 minutes? About like, hey, how are things or whatever. No, it's like get right to business. Yeah. And then as soon as the segment's over, because we pre-record this, just hang up. Not a thanks or just gone. And that's just, McCord is all business in the morning. And I know if just Yukon was there, we'd probably have had a longer chat and stuff like that. But
I miss those days of just wandering over in between commercial breaks and saying hi to those guys.
I do still miss all of that.
Yeah.
I do miss that extra station around. That's just what Edmonton's. Look, we're expanding. Come a week and a half or so, we've got 1 to 3 EST afternoons. If you haven't heard, Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage. I'm sure you've heard. And
I've been told, yeah.
And then from 3 to 6, we got the Reed Wilkins show with Jay Milne. We've now 6 to 6 as of fall. Maybe the next step for EST Empire is a second station.
Oh my God.
Next year. I don't think Dusty will like that. I don't think he wants to hear about that right now. But maybe that's what we need to launch.
I thought it was like Red Shoe Diaries with late at night dating advice. No?
Trev probably doesn't even know what Red Shoe Diaries is.
Oh, he probably doesn't, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, shoot. There was something yesterday that someone said that no one knew about. That it was like... That's how you know you're getting older. When... these young guys, you say something and go, what's that? I'm just like, really?
I feel bad when I don't get a reference because part of me wants to be like, oh, yeah. But then you'll be like, oh, yeah, you get it. I'm like, yep, that's a good one.
Just fake it.
Well, no, but I called him on that once.
Oh, did you? What was it for?
Me and Eric, we were sitting and we were talking soccer.
Yeah.
And I throw to Manchester United player, an old player, Michael Carrick. And something about him, and Trev just responded with the, yeah, absolutely. Like he was fully in on it. And he wasn't even part of the conversation.
I was just sitting on the couch. I'm like, I agree.
And I just thought, like, there's no way this guy knows who Michael Carrick is. So I was just very intrigued. Like, does he know who he is? Because I'm very impressed that he does. So I was like, you know who Michael Carrick is or something? And he then thought about it for a second. He's like, no, I don't. And Eric said afterwards that he was thinking too, like, this is amazing. He knows this.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
So now, like, we just say, because Michael Carrick's now the manager of a second-level club, Middlesbrough. Oh. We just think that Trev is now, like, the biggest Middlesbrough fan there is.
Yeah, might be. You never know.
To RCN in the nasty chat, was I half asleep or was there a tweet saying Eric was back today like an hour ago? Yeah, I copy and pasted a tweet from a bit ago because It was just easier. And I forgot to take out Eric and put myself in.
Oh.
Trev just looked at me and he's like, "Did you send out the tweet?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, Eric's in there, not you." I was like, "Okay, I'll change that." So you probably were half asleep, RCN. But also there was a tweet that said Eric and I had to go change that. Eric on the show Monday. Don't worry about that. Sue Johansson, 7-9. Ross. Do you remember Sue?
No,
Is it Johansson then?
don't know.
She was the Canada sex lady.
Oh, right. Yeah. She like stone faced with some.
Sue Johansson, that's the name. Yeah.
She was great. Yeah.
Trev wouldn't know about that one either.
No, you'd watch that as a kid because she would get just the most ridiculous questions, but just field them like Roberto Alomar at second, or she would take it and just run and just have this whole explanation. It was great.
Let's get to morning announcements, which is brought to you by 100.3 The Bear. Yukon and McCord on right now. Just Jackson in the afternoons to take you on your ride home. There was a CFL game yesterday that kicked off week 12. It was a fun game. It was an enjoyable game. The Riders had a great defense at the goal line, stopping the Argos a few times. But in the end, the game comes down to Liam Hajrullahu's kick. He's got a game-winning kick, and he makes it. He makes it in the sense of he got the point for the Toronto Argonauts. For those that missed it, it was... I want to make sure I get the correct score of the game. It was 19-19, last kick of the game. 40-yarder. Hajrullahu misses, but it's good enough to go through the end zone for a Rouge. And the Argos win on the walk-off Rouge, a very rare occurrence in the Canadian Football League. But it happens. A missed field goal ultimately gives the Toronto Argonauts a victory. It was funny because today I asked, you said you were watching the game.
Yeah. So I'm watching the game, and then I'm like, oh, this is over. And I think I just went to do something in the kitchen and didn't really realize what had happened. And then I saw them win, and everyone was upset. And I didn't.
They're all celebrating.
They were all celebrating. So I thought, oh, he hit the chip shot, and they won. And then it wasn't until this morning that they was like, they won on the Rouge. I'm shocked. And that explains kind of because they panned the bend or the sidelines. And the look of disgust on the riders' faces. There's a great shot of Harris, just like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me! I lost this. I don't know. I predict you think it's just fine to do this.
Well, it's fine. Dusty tweeted it yesterday, going, "It's watching the clip. He's like, it's funny because about 20% of the fans." Like probably only knew that the Argos won. Like there was a bunch of fans in the stadium that didn't realize that their team just won this football game. I am a defender of the Rouge. I have fought for the Rouge. I believe in the Rouge. Today is a tough day to be a defender of the Rouge. I will say, look, because the way the rule is that a single point gets you the victory. Like I don't know why more teams don't just go for the punt. Like, you could just line up for the punt. And, like, if he punted for the win, would people be upset today? Would it be as bad? Like, because ultimately when you miss a field goal, it's like, well, you missed. So why are you getting rewarded? If he had gone for a punt and got it through the end zone, would people be furious today about the fact that the Argos won on a Rouge? Would the anger be as much as it was today? Or is today?
Yeah. Does it get to a rule change that you can't get the Rouge on a field goal attempt? Does that make sense?
Well, the greatest CFL fantasy football league that there is.
Oh, okay.
I have fought against the Rouge point being added to our league for a long time. We added the Rouge this year, and we don't give the Rouge on a missed field goal.
Oh, okay.
We've taken it out in that one. We say if it's a punt or if it's a kickoff, you get the Rouge, but if it's a missed field goal, you don't. But that's like, so I'm seeing a few things change. And Matt Scianitti will be on at 8:20. We'll get his take on this. I don't know if one time this happening is going to be enough for the Canadian Football League to go and put a rule change in. Like, when was the last time this happened? I don't recall personally.
Yeah, no. I always like the Americans coming up and taking a knee sometimes and not realizing it. That's always funny to me. But
But it's like if a punt is still allowed, you just go for the punt and they'd probably still get it. Or some of the rules that are being floated out there, is it maybe in the final 3 minutes you take away the Rouge point?
Yeah.
Like they do change certain rules in the final 3 minutes. Is this one that you would add in there? I don't like that idea because I think a point is a point. You can't change when you award a point.
It's almost, you get to like a volleyball situation. You got to win by 2 if it's a Rouge point, something like that. Like it'd be stupid.
If you win on a Rouge, then all of a sudden the Argos get the ball for two cracks or something like that. So like, like I know Barstool Sports tweeted it yesterday.
Oh, did they?
And making fun of it. And this is a tough day. Like the CFL looks poor on days like today.
Well, especially because you could tell that they're just trying to boot it as hard as they can. Right? It still almost went through, but that was a definite attempt to just blast it through the end zone.
That's it. Like if Liram Hajrulahu goes out there for that kick 9 out of 10 times, he's making it most likely. And if there was 30 seconds left, his focus is, I got to get this through the uprights. That's not power.
Yeah.
Since it's the last kick of the game.
Who cares?
I'm sure he was sent out there going, go for the kick, but put as much power as you can behind that.
Yeah.
Because if you miss, it goes through the end zone. And we win this football game.
I wonder, what was the original thinking of the Rouge when it was put into the rule book? Why? What was it, to make sure that people always came out of the end zone?
See, I always thought it was connected to rugby.
Oh.
But Fergie's prostate, I remember in the nasty chat, like early days of EST, he was like, it has nothing to do with rugby. So I never actually looked where the Rouge comes from.
Yeah. Because I like it because guys can't take a knee. They have to bring the ball out of the end zone. I think there's something to that a little bit. Makes it exciting. Keeps the play going. But that's tough.
There was a proposal in 2005 to take away Rouges from missed field goal attempts. It was rejected at the time. So I'd like...
I like last 5 minutes of a game.
It's just, but then for just the Rouge in general?
No,
or
field goal.
But then they just go punt. They just go punt and they go get their single and they go win that football game still. I think the fact that we don't see this that often, you just live with it.
Yeah.
If this becomes a thing where every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're talking about how you're missing and you're failing at your job, but you're winning a football game, then I think we go, into, what type of discussions does the Board of Governors need to have? But I also just look at this and go, it's the quirkiness of the CFL. This is partly why I love the CFL.
It's part of the game. I think when you really think about it, though, and this is how everyone sees it, is if it's at the Grey Cup, it would be very, very tough to lose, I think, by 1 point with a missed field goal Rouge point to win a Grey Cup. To me, I think it's part of the rules, though. So, and it's not like it's an old rule. I don't want to see that, though. As a fan,
I know, and I'm trying to think,
I don't want to see that.
I don't know how I would feel if all of a sudden I don't know how I would feel if I won.
Yeah.
I guess he'd be celebrating it.
Celebrate.
But it's a missed field goal to win the Grey Cup.
Yeah. I think that's what you do. You don't want to get into a situation where that's going to happen. I think. But as a player, and if I knew if I booted this thing to win a Grey Cup, I'm booting that thing.
I'm putting so much power behind that one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was a Rouge, though. What game was it? Was it it was Hamilton-Winnipeg Grey Cup. A Rouge is what allowed it to go to overtime.
Oh.
On a kickoff, though. Because, was it Tim White, or there was a tie-cap player, I think he didn't return the ball out of the end zone and gave up a single. And then it ended up tying the football game or something. And then they got to overtime. If I'm recalling correctly, that would have been the 2021 Grey Cup, I think it was.
See, then I like it. I like the fact that they can because I want to watch more and make it exciting, right? If a Rouge point to tie to get to overtime, completely different scenario. To me, I like it.
Bones saying the Rouge has won me a couple Grey Cup pools. Tubsock's very, very adamant on keeping this. Like, he's sending multiple texts right now. How's it tougher to enjoy the Rouge after that game? If anything, that makes a stronger case for the Rouge. People need to stop being angry. How does it look poor? It looks unique and awesome. Failed at his job. No, he didn't. He kicked it through the end zone and scored a point. I could keep going.
Yeah.
Fair point. Whereas Jason and Leduc, he's got it. So I've decided lately to try and get back into the CFL. I was watching the end of the Argos Rough Riders game, and what was an exciting end to the game was muted by a last-second field goal that missed but cleared the end zone and win them the game. The Rouge cannot decide to end a football game. A team shouldn't win a game by missing a last-second field goal. The Rouge needs to be amended and only applied on kickoff and punts. Agree.
You can
always... That's where I find... I think there could be more leeway nowadays if you try to go, it's not going to apply to missed field goals.
You know what, though? If you really look at the game... Harris, and excuse me, I can't remember the receiver's name, but had a catchable ball for the first down. Like, it was a play across the middle. That should have been caught. So don't put yourself in that situation in the first place.
That's part of it. You know, if you look at that game overall, the Argos deserved the win. They deserved to go get that victory. The Rough Riders started off very well, and then they just didn't do anything. And Fergie, who was on the hangout yesterday out of nowhere, which was awesome. I'm a Rider fan. I'm okay they lost on a Rouge. They needed to play better, and they wouldn't have lost. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Johnny Alberta winning the Grey Cup on a Rouge would be an amazing heel turn, and the outrage would be delicious. I will say, if the Grey Cup ever was won on a Rouge, it would be one of those situations. The CFL would get a lot of PR. And they do say there's no such thing as bad PR.
Yeah. It's true.
Get your contra requests in as well. I'm going to throw this one out there. Adam in Quebec City. Can I get a conch for all my Bundesliga brothers and sisters? It's match day 1 today. Yes, Trev, they start with 1 over in Germany. Conch to all the fans of Bundesliga. Which would include our boy, Alphonso Davies, who didn't make a move from Bayern Munich, at least as of yet. But it looks like he'll stay with Bayern for this season. Continuing with the headlines, F1 is back, baby.
Yeah, just an update. After free practice 1, not too surprising, but Norris, fastest time in free practice 1, followed by Verstappen, 0.2 back. Hamilton, Seitz, and George Russell. So seems like Mercedes really figured something out here. And I'll talk to Tim Haraney at some point again, but there was talk about the Antonelli racing. I read it quick last night, so I'm not sure, but they said he might be racing in Italy at some point. I think it's just a practice that he'll get into the seat. They can't take Hamilton out. What if Hamilton goes nuts here and starts closing the drivers' championship points and gets closer? It's a possibility. Like, what is it? He's 0.6.
Do you think
a lot? But
do you think Hamilton? There's any chance he'll regret this move to Ferrari?
Yes,
you do.
Yeah, I do.
You don't think the Ferrari car next year will be solid enough that he'll be able to do well next year?
I think he'll do well, but again, this is a guy that's been in the same team for a long time. Bono, his race engineer that he's been with for years, he's got to start anew. And sometimes a fresh start's great, but building the trust between the team, everything else that goes along with it, the historic struggles of Ferrari, just seeming to start okay and then not being able to get to the finish line with good strategy, getting the car in the right window. I don't know. And then I don't think he thought that Mercedes would be able to find something out with this car and make the leaps forward that they have.
Well, through the first 8 races of the season, Their best finish was 5th. Since Canada, including Montreal, they've had 3 firsts.
Yeah.
They've had 3 thirds. They've had 3 fourths between the 2 cars.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I think him in the if he wins in Ferrari, what does that do for his legacy?
Oh, it's huge.
You know?
Yeah. And
Just like you're wearing the Ferrari red today.
Yeah. And even so, it's the same as winning with the historic teams. Every one of these guys grows up looking at the scarlet red Ferrari. That's the big team. They see themselves on the top of the podium winning the drivers' championship with Ferrari.
Do you think we get an actual drivers' championship challenge
this
season?
I think.
Do you think
we
somebody
do.
closes the gap on Max that in like those final couple of races, the last few races are Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi? Do you think we're in those races we might be discussing? Ooh, is it?
Could it happen?
Could
maybe?
it still happen? And maybe it's about Qatar or Abu Dhabi that Max clinches it. Maybe not Abu Dhabi. Maybe Qatar. Or Vegas. In like the final 3 races, that's when he's finally going to clinch it. But we have a conversation through Singapore and Austin and Mexico of look at Lando with this charge.
Things have to go really wrong for Max. I think there's got to be a couple DNFs in there for this to happen because he's going to be in the mix and he's going to be gaining points, right? I think at that time of the season it'll be more it's out of your hands, so to speak. Like this guy has to beat so and so, he has to finish there. It becomes more of a mathematical equation than just beating the guy heads up, right?
So he's had his last few races, is a couple 5ths, a 4th. He has a 2nd. He has a win in his last 5, let's say. If Lando can go grab a couple of wins, and if Max could stay in that 4-5 range, the math might be there to make it tighten it up.
It could, because it's going to be increasingly like Max isn't just going. I don't think he's just gonna, if he finishes a pole, I don't think he's able to just ride off into the distance and cruise to a race win anymore. Teams are too good right now.
Well, if anything, one thing that might be hurt McLaren is Mercedes.
And this is why it's fun.
But there's the fight now between multiple cars and multiple teams that it wasn't before. Like for a period of time, it looked like it was maybe going to be McLaren Red Bull this year now. But now Mercedes is jumping up there.
Yeah. And, I mean, Ferrari's still lurking. Doesn't look, well, we'll see after free practice, too. But I think we got to get to a sports update, don't we, Trev?
Look at you running this ship for me.
Hey, I'm just here to support, buddy.
I just didn't want to end the F1 for you. We'll continue with that. But let's get to a Sports Center update. This is the Nielson Show here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports Live on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, as well as those watching on YouTube. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube Trev with you here this morning. And here's Trev with a Sports Center update.
It was CFL Week 12 kickoff last night. Chad Kelly and the Toronto Argonauts got the job done in an exciting walk-off Rouge against the Saskatchewan Roughriders by the score of 20-19. The Argonauts improved to 6-4, while the best in the West are now 5-5-1 and are winless in their last 5 games. Tonight in the CFL, the 2-8 Hamilton Ticats will be facing the 4-6 Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Kickoff for that one starts at 6:30 tonight. And the Edmonton Elks continue their road trip out east. They'll be taking on the first-place Montreal Alouettes on Sunday, where quarterback Cody Fajardo is set to return. The Elks are looking for their 4th straight win, which they haven't done since 2017. And Week 0 of college football starts tomorrow. That's right, I said 0, because 0 is before 1. Florida State will be taking on Georgia Tech, and you can watch that one tomorrow at 10 in the morning. And in the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays defeat the Los Angeles Angels in Game 1 of that series by the score of 5-3. Game 2 of that one starts today at 5. The Sports Update is brought to you by Nisku Glass, where they can meet all your automotive, residential, and commercial glass needs. They offer free pickup and drop-off services for your vehicle and free estimates at your home and business, and have a 4.8 star rating on Google. They will service anywhere in the greater Edmonton area and beyond. Give them a call at 780-955-7989 to meet all your glass needs.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
This is the Nielson Show presented by Southport Chevrolet. We're live in the Popeye studio here in the west end of town. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube Trev with you here. Get those texts into the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers, family owned and operated with 22 stores in 4 provinces across Canada. Shop in-store online, parisjewelers.com. I was talking with Matt with Paris Jewelers. We exchanged a few emails because him and his family are coming out to the Estes, and we'll talk some Estes later on in the show because we got to get to the categories of the day for that one. But I guess Dusty threw out the idea of him presenting the text of the year since it is the Paris Jewelers inbox, and he's, I think, interested in that. So
Nice.
I think that'd be a fun one. That might be my first presenter I would for sure know of that's outside of the EST. You coming to the Estes? Like,
Yeah, I will.
okay, you're presenting an award.
I know. Yeah.
You and
So
her.
I have to. Oh, are we?
Well, that's how I'm thinking. It's going to be like, well, you want pairs.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be Dusty and Eric. I think Dusty and Eric will do too. I think they'll open the show and they'll close the show.
Yeah.
You know, there are boys. Reed and Jay, I think, are a pair. You and Hernan would have to be a pair as the new show. I think Trev and Zach together
Oh, yeah.
is a good pair.
That's a good pair. What about Jess Jackson? I could see her coming.
I don't know if she'd come. I still have to talk to Jess about some stuff with that. And then for the hangout, I was thinking it would be Tommy and Jasmine maybe.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Because I'm busy. I've got to run around. I've got all the trophies. Actually, I don't have the sheet with me. Oh, it's at the other side. I'll show you the mock-up of it after.
Oh, really? Sweet.
Trev has kind of seen it, but they've been ordered. I've approved the mock-ups of it, so we've got the trophies coming. But yeah, Matt from Paris Jewelers, he might present the award because his whole family is coming out. So it's gonna be a fun, wild time. September 17th. Get your tickets by emailing me, Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
I love the fact that someone could have this thing on their their trophy wall, their mantle, and someone come. What is that? It's an Esty.
How do you not
Beautiful.
know what it is?
I can't wait.
What do you need, penicillin for that thing? Jeez.
It looks slick. The design's nice. Like I'm actually quite impressed with how
Oh,
it
okay.
looks. Yeah,
Sweet.
like it's not just like a little doinky thing.
Yeah.
It looks professional, which is honestly just amazing. But yeah, prepping a speech with Zach, that'll be. I'm sure we'll have some. fun
Well,
ideas.
yeah, like I got to figure out how I'm going to actually do all of this. Because the night has to be scripted, so I'm going to have people. I think I'm going to have to come up with some sort of like, I need you to do this, but I don't think
Yeah.
I'm going to script what everyone's doing. I don't
No.
think I can. Like, I don't think we're at that level, and I'm not. I hate writing.
It can be a theme.
But
Yeah.
it's like you're going to come up and you'll present this award. So you need to. Here's your nominees. You need to announce these. But I guess maybe the two of you could come up with. You could say whatever you want. You don't even have to say anything. You could just come up and just get into the awards. So I guess it's totally up to you.
I think a appearance from Rapticum. Just
That's
at
what I
one
was
point,
thinking.
you know.
I know he's gonna be like, man, what do you think? Maybe I could rap. I'm gonna be like, yeah. It's gonna be awesome, man. You've got this.
Just encourage it.
Yeah, you're cut out for it. We know your work. Just do it. You'll be like, really? Yes.
Yes, I love it.
We've got some text I do want to get to. Oh, Jasmine, any after party updates? Yeah, the after party will take place Hudson's White. We talked to Hudson's. They don't have anything going on. So if anyone wants to go afterwards to Hudson's White, that's where we're going to go. We're going to have just a nice little time, and we'll go there. And the people that won, they could really celebrate and let
Oh my
loose.
gosh, yeah.
I look forward to the people trying to like explain it to the people at Hudson's of I won, like to your point of the mantle being at the Estes. Like,
Yeah.
maybe Trev uses as a pickup line
Right.
while he's there. Maybe there's some girls there, and he goes, Do you like my trophy? I'm the EST Rookie of the Year. I won the Esties. Do you like my Estie?
Yeah.
Ever been with a guy with an Estie? Something like that?
Oh, yeah, but had to go to the doctor afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. That came out wrong.
Jesus.
Good.
Maybe don't say that.
Yeah, that's not the plan.
The real not so Slim Shady. Let's give a conch for the whole EST crew stepping up this week, filling in during these morning shows. Seriously, the best team on airwaves. Conch actually to Gager, to Trev, and to Zach. You've done some great job
Jay.
over the mornings. Jay as well, but also over the course of the month of August. Trev and Zach have been doing a lot around here. So conch to all of you fellas. And also conch to week 0 of the NCAA.
Hasn't been without mistakes. I'm not talking about you, Trev. I'm talking about me. So don't worry about it. But it was very embarrassing. I one of the 5 questions, I didn't have the right answer. I thought that the race was in Belgium. And it was the morning I was writing them out, but I saw when you look at the F1 schedule, it said Belgium, and I thought it's in the Netherlands, obviously. That was a little embarrassing, being of the kind of the F1 guy around here. You know, I'm probably the one that watches it most, I would say.
You are easily the F1 guy around here.
Yeah. Okay.
You're the guy that, like, as I'm setting up for the hangout and going to go in, I actually get very jealous because you leave the morning show and you set up F1 TV there. I'm like, oh, I can't watch. And then I hear you boys talking about it. And you talking with Eric, and I'm like, oh.
That's great. It's awesome to have it on after on a Friday.
Do you think you're more now of an F1 expert or a goalie expert?
Oh, geez. You know, that's funny. God, you're in my mind here. I was watching some young goalies play. And I was like, geez, should I even be talking about this anymore? They're so, like, technically sound and things. And I don't think I can talk on the technical side of it as much.
You don't think?
I know more about the mental side at this point. Like, I can tell by body language how things are going. Certain situations I can really pick out because I've been in those situations, right? Technically, it's... I can see how good people are, good on their skates, things like that. But yeah, I'm more cerebral with my critique of goaltending at this point, because they're just.
Would the basis, the foundation, still have to be the same, or has that actually evolved?
That's evolved huge. I mean, talking with older goalies and stuff. We never had those summer camps. Once in a while, they came in later a little bit, but just goalies and specific goalie drills. You know, usually it was just guys coming down and shooting as hard as they can, trying to put it top shelf, and you just tried to stop it, right? At most camps. But now that they have those, and you watch any type of goalie camp, the first 10, 15 minutes is all skating and crease movement, things like that. So that foundational base, I guess I can kind of recognize it, because when I know a goalie's struggling, you see how they fall back. If they're flailing all around and just trying to do whatever, you know that they're not confident in themselves. You see, like Stuart Skinner, a very confident individual, because even when things are in the pooper, he's still very meticulous in his movement in the crease. So, and that's what you need. You need to. Goaltending's a lot like golf. You know, when you're feeling it, you had a couple really good rounds, and then you think, man, I'm getting good at this, and then it just completely falls apart. The exact same thing with goaltending.
Best part of golf is you just have that one good round, and then it's like the memes out there where it's like you just start Googling how to get your PGA card. Like, I'm good enough now. I've got this. I've got this figured out. I'm going, and then the next round it's just horrendous. It's just awful. How's your game right now, Trev, for golf? How's it going?
Not that good. Not that good at all. It's I will say I've definitely golfed better this year than previous years by a lot, but that's not saying much. Like I was so bad before. So it's I had some good shots. I'm not going to lie. I've had more birdies this year than I've ever had, which is pretty sweet. I had a birdie last week when I was out, just one, but that's okay. I usually get one a summer, and I've got 3 birdies this year. So
Nice.
I've tripled what I've done in the past. So, yeah, like I've actually been hitting the ball pretty good, but it's in previous years, it was always my short game. Like I was like really good. Like I could putt, but like this year I'm having no problem really like getting there. But once I'm there, and I was talking to Murray when I was producing the VIP golf show this past Sunday, the greens are tricky at the ranch, man. Like I have a
They're good.
and that's what he
They
said.
are.
He's like, yeah, man, like that's what will get you at the ranch because my approach is fine. But then once I'm there, I'm like triple putting, like 4 putting every single time, man. And then it's frustrating because my scores would be way better if I could just like 2 putt it. But yeah, honestly, I went out with my bud and he was saying this is the best I've ever seen you golf. So that was good. I was happy.
Yeah, I was out yesterday, and yeah, it was that short game is just. But you know what? It was funny because I don't know why I saw DeChambeau was golfing with John Daly, which is hilarious. You know, Daly's got colorful shorts on, no shoes, and just crushing it and smoking. Yeah, drinking. Like he's got his custom made cart. And the front of it, it's a massive cooler, and he's got like 40 beers in there, and he'll drink them all, obviously. But he had something, and I've always thought this, and I think I even asked Murray about it to go by the ranch and do it. But he said all the people like go get fitted for clubs, right? Go do that. That's important. But no one gets the grips fitted, even if you're just gonna fit the grips, because he showed this little thing. If the club's coming out of your hand at the top of your swing, like at this position, you're screwed. So, and of course, that's all I'm thinking about yesterday is because I've got big hands and I need a way bigger grip on my clubs. So there's always next year.
As I go into next year, I'm full new iron guy next year.
Oh, yeah?
I need new irons. I bought them at Murray, actually, and there used to be this golf show in Edmonton that my dad and I would go to every spring and stuff. And I bought used clubs from Highlands.
Okay.
So like really not, good clubs and stuff. But I think when I looked them up, they're from like probably like 06 or 07. So I've been golfing them for probably a good 8 years now or something. And it's like, well, the technology has changed mightily when it comes to especially the irons. So I think as I've healed my shoulder, as I'm going into the Matt Iwanyk 2.0 golfer, I think it's time to improve, to bring out the irons. And if my new shoulder / labrum and irons can't do the job, then I just suck at golf.
Yeah.
Then I just know that. There's nothing that I can do, and I'm just going to go have fun and have the vibes. But I am also still first place at the 37th annual Franco's Golf Tournament from this past Sunday. So I really want to go and try to get my golf game going.
Nice.
I can do like it's usually 3 or 4 bad holes I usually have. Like I could play par to bogey golf for a good 13, 14 holes. But then I have those 4 holes or whatever. And they're +2s, +3s, maybe 1 +4 in there. And it's just there's the game. I need to improve on that. So I can't wait to just get golfing next year. I'm not going to lie. Jump in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Mandate John, boy, sometimes when you're having a horrible day and you feel like nothing can cheer you up, you turn on the TV, watch the Riders lose a heartbreaker, and suddenly the world seems a little bit brighter and life seems a little bit sweeter. That coming in from John. That's one thing I'll think will from the city of Edmonton and a few markets when it comes to that Rouge yesterday. I think there's some people that are okay with the Rouge yesterday because it means the Saskatchewan Roughriders lost. The Edmonton Elks, they take on the Owls on Sunday. 4 o'clock, Green and Gold kickoff show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Myself, Jay Milne, will be live at Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, where every day is game day. The daily special that day is the surf and turf for $11.99. You could also get the cheese and jalapeno smoky for $14.99, which comes with waffle fries. So come join us. Watch the Elks take on the Owls. This is a big statement game as the Elks look for their 4th straight victory. There is a scenario where the Edmonton Elks could be sitting 3 points back of first place in the West after this weekend. And if I'm not mistaken, they could do so while they're also sitting 5th in the West. The BC Lions are struggling. They take on the Ottawa Red Blacks looking to win their first in 5. They might lose 5 straight if they can't get the win. The Bombers have a big game against the Ticats today, and I say big game in terms of, well, they're going to get the victory. It should be. It's just by how much. But if things go the way they are, we're going into Labor Day with the Elks potentially only being 3 points back of first place. So that's also why. The Riders losing, it's good news for Edmonton Elks fans everywhere. So is week 0 preseason? Because if it isn't, then I agree with YTT that it's stupid. It is not preseason. It is the regular season. It starts tomorrow in college football. Shehan Jeyarajah of CBS Sports, he's going to join us in about 15 minutes' time, as we will preview the NCAA season overall. I'm a big NCAA fan. Lucas from Whale and the Wolf, house band of EST, he's a big fan. He's a big Huskies fan who are making the move to the Big Ten this year. There's a few of us out there. A little bit of a selfish interview, not going to lie on that one. But excited to talk some college football. It's going to be a fun season. There's a lot of moving pieces. We've got the Big Ten, which has historically been a Midwestern conference that now has teams like USC, UCLA, Washington, and Oregon joining them. Nothing says Midwest like the Pacific Ocean. There's a lot going on in college football. It's also an expanded playoffs. We got a 12-team playoff for the first time ever. They're expanding from the 4 to 12, so we'll see what Shehan thinks about that as we move forward into college football and the constant expansion. And is 12 teams going to be the stop? We'll get to that. And then coming up 8:20, Matt Scianitti. We'll also need 3 questions. 3 questions. Too many. For Park Mazda. We're going to need some 3 questions, so get those in as well to 780-218-9999. Joel adding, then it's week 1, but it's not week 1 because week 1's next weekend. So it's longer than a week, so it's week 0. Officially, I believe it's week 1. Officially, I believe they call this weekend, next weekend, all week 1. But college football fans, and if you look at a lot of articles, they write it as this is week 0. And I don't know, it's fun saying week 0. I don't know why everyone has to be so hard on week 0.
I will say it definitely sparked some conversation. We're talking about it, so there's that. But when I was doing my sports update, it says week 1. So maybe it's just amongst the fans.
It's the articles because it's Labor Day is when it starts,
That's
which
when it
also
officially starts.
Like I'm excited college football is back. I'm a big college football fan. I love Labor Day weekend in the Canadian Football League. It's awesome. We're only a few weeks away from the young guns and all that for hockey. Like, we're almost at hockey season. Do you guys like this time of year? Like, I'm in this rough spot because I'm excited because everything's happening. We're in the stretch run of F1. We're in the stretch run of baseball playoffs. Go Yankees. Aaron Judge keeps dominating. Basketball will be back soon. As I mentioned, hockey. We've got everything happening. But it also means summer's over.
Yeah.
Winter's coming. U.S. Opens next weekend.
Yeah,
we were talking about that before the show, which is always wonderful.
That's always, it's funny. As a kid, for tennis-wise, I always loved, I liked the French Open because it told me that the school was almost over. And then Wimbledon, I knew school was over. But although I liked the U.S. Open, it was kind of sad because that's when I had to go back to school, right? But now this discussion has gone on for a while. What season do you like the most?
Fall over spring for sports. Are we talking sports or are we talking
all,
about just
all around? Let's go all around. What is your favorite time of year?
I'll take summer. Just straight up, I'll take summer.
Is that, yeah, okay.
I get to watch golf. I get to watch the Canadian Football League. Baseball's still on. And I get to go golfing. I get to go sit in the sun. I will take that. Then spring, then fall, then winter.
Yeah, I mean, summers in Edmonton are so good because of the light, right? Like it's 11:30 at night sometimes, and I'm sitting outside, and it's like, wow, this is crazy. It's so nice, and we do get punished in the wintertime. It's 3:30 and dark, but I'm torn a little bit. I really enjoy summer because I think just because the darkness that I've had to endure, that I'm so happy about it. But I think I'm a fall winter guy.
Sports-wise, fall is better than spring to me. People will throw out the spring because you got NHL playoffs, you got NBA playoffs, the Masters gets going. I love fall because I could watch everything.
Yeah.
Soccer is back for me. CFL, NFL, NCAA, U Sport football, hockey, basketball, college basketball, WHL, Oil Kings will be going. The Golden Bears will be going. It's baseball playoffs. Like everything is happening. F1. Golf is really the only thing that will be over because we'll get into the playoffs right away here. That will be done unless it's a Ryder Cup year. And then Ryder Cups are awesome to watch. I will take that over the playoffs of the NHL and the NBA in spring. But if you're going to add everything else in the world and life in general, summer jumps up and spring jumps up for me because I just hate the cold. I've become my dad where I just don't want to do the snow. I don't want to do winter. I just want to live in nice weather all the time.
It is nice when you're in a nice climate. But there's something to winter, too. There's the crunch of the snow under your feet, right? The nice, big, cozy jacket. The toques, the gloves.
Let me just sit
Skiing. I do enjoy skiing.
Let me put flip-flops on, shorts, and a T-shirt, and bake in the sun. That's all I want.
But it's nice when you go to the back of the closet and you find the flip-flops. When it's finally nice enough. I like that. Put them on and go, oh, they actually hurt your feet because you've been wearing boots for 8 months.
Trev?
I miss, it's weird because this time of the year, like I was just out and about the other day playing my multi-sport league, and I was like, oh, I can't wait for the ODR. Just shooting the puck. Like I love that. And, unfortunately that is in winter and it is cold and I take the heat for sure over the cold, but I love going to the ODR. But as far as like everything goes, I think this might have been a question a few weeks ago for 3 questions too many, but fall just takes it for me. I just love it. The weather, it's beautiful. Sports are coming back. You get everything, which is awesome. And then I was telling Gager, I think it's fishing. It's my favorite time to fish. The runoff is just back home. It's just the water's crystal clear, so you can just see the
fall
fish.
fishing?
Oh yeah,
Really?
you can just see a fish. Like if I put up a dry fly, back home, like rainbow trout was like mainly the only trout that was in the Pincher Creek. And you just see like all these fish, like they just look up, and you just like, oh, they're hungry, and then they just swim up and get it. I'm like, it was the coolest thing ever. So I love fall. I just love
fishing in the
nostalgia.
springs. I hated it because they're all deep still, and you can't use a dry fly. You're usually like I would use chironomids. Like I'd tie up a bunch of little baby embryo flies and then just sink those down, and you'd clean up because they're hungry. But it's just something about summer with the nice bright fly just sitting and seeing the come up and grab it. Really cool.
No better feeling. There's nothing like it, KJ.
Nothing better.
I do love fall golf. It's wonderful being on the course, partly also because people stop golfing at that point.
Yeah.
So you get the course a lot more to yourself. Those busier courses, they open up a little bit more. And I actually don't mind bundling up a little bit, like that nice jacket, like the pullover. And you just a little bit warmer. You go out there. It's crisp in that air, that little extra crispness. I love golfing when it's like 10, 11, 12 degrees.
That pro
It's
shop
nice.
jacket season.
Atif, yo, can I get a conch? I'm throwing down a warm-up rap battle to Rapticum before the battle with Clawson. And Maddie, I'm coming to the Estes. I would really like an Atif versus Rapticum going on. Did you hear Clawson's response yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Should I play it?
Do we have that? Yeah, I think so.
Okay, before we end the 6 o'clock hour, and then get the Shehan Jeyarajah of CBS Sports to talk some college football, Clawson did respond to Zach. I played this on the Hangout yesterday. I think Zach knows he can't continue. Like, this isn't going to go well. So here's, bless you, by the way, Trev. Here's Clawson's response to Zach to come.
Don't push me. You got your whole life ahead of you. Listen real close what I'm telling you. Don't push me, because you're going to get embarrassed. Go home and listen to your parents, because they both know I could go beast mode. I call them up on the phone. They're like, please don't. You can't compete. Capiche, bro? How'd you even think we were equals? You rap like mini pops and kids bop. I got that sweet OG flow. Your JV bench warming. I'm at the top of the league MVP, your D pros. Go get a pen and some paper. Take notes while I do you a favor. I'm headed for the Hall of Fame like LeBron James. See, that's how you drop a name and call game. Thank me later. I took your little line and made it a little greater. You couldn't get on my level with elevators. It's over. Someone get him a ventilator.
Oh my God.
That might have been better than the first one, honestly.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just destroyed him.
Just seen Zach's face. He started off with a smile and then slowly just. It was so good.
That was so good.
Yeah.
That was so good.
There's a reason Clawson calls himself a Raptor turned weatherman.
Holy.
Yeah, that LeBron James line, that got you.
Well, it was all because Rapticum's LeBron James was just massacred. And then he used it against him. He used what Zach thought made him great against him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got game, LeBron James.
I still want to see it, though.
Yeah,
I
oh,
still
yeah.
want to
I
see
still
it.
do
watch.
too.
Yeah.
Coming up in the second hour of the Nielson show today, we do got the cool bet hotline of the day. We got to get to That's Good for the Italian Center. And coming up very shortly, Shehan Jeyarajah of CBS Sports. We will talk a little bit of college football. Get your text in, Paris Jewelers Inbox 780-218-9999. We want to give away a $20 gift card to A&W for text of the day. I haven't seen that text of the day just yet, so lots of time to get in on that, as well as 3 questions too many. Throw those our way as well. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube, Trev with you here. And here's a sports update from Trev.
It was CFL Week 12 kickoff last night. Chad Kelly made his 0 appearance last night as him and the Toronto Argonauts got the job done in an exciting walk-off Rouge against the Saskatchewan Roughriders by the score of 20-19. The Argonauts improved to 6-4, while the best in the West are now 5-5-1 and are winless in their last 5 games. Tonight in the CFL, the 2-8 Hamilton Ticats will be facing the 4-6 Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Kickoff for that one starts at 6:30. And the Edmonton Elks continue their road trip out east. They'll be taking on the first-place Montreal Alouettes on Sunday, where quarterback Cody Fajardo is set to return. The Elks are looking for their 4th straight win, which hasn't been done since 2017. And Week 0 of NCAA football starts tomorrow. Florida State will be taking on Georgia Tech. You can watch that one at 10 a.m. And in the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays defeat the Los Angeles Angels in Game 1 of that series by the score of 5-3. Game 2 of that one starts today at 5. The Sports Update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit greenplan.com or give them a call at 780-455-4292.
Closer to the hollow, the devil may care. If I showed you around my heart, would you mind if I shared to show you what's wrong with me? I will not change it. I will wait patiently while you get painted out. Let me into your untainted tribe to be the one who gets to live a lie. Oh, let me lie with you. I'll be a perfect stranger. I wanna be that stupid boy that you don't talk about. You better believe there's a sharp knife beside my bed. You better believe there's a sharp knife inside my head. And if you would leave, I would take you by the hand. You and I would leave, but it wouldn't be that bad.
This is the Nielson Show, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube Trev with you here on this Friday morning. as we will take you up until 9 o'clock, and then it'll be the EST Hangout. Myself, Steve Sandor, and Jeff Kershell will be on the air. That's going to be a fun conversation. Those two guys, very smart gentlemen, very intelligent gentlemen. That's going to be a wild conversation between the two of them. Jeff, big baseball guy. Steve Sandor, big baseball dad. His son, very big into baseball, soccer to get to, all sorts of different things. Elks. It's going to be a fun conversation on the EST Hangout. And then the Lock Shop with Huss and one of the boys from Coolbag Canada. I'm not sure which one will be on. That's to come here on Edmonton Sports Talk through this Friday. Momentarily, we will be talking some college football. Your thoughts, though, welcome 780-218-9999, or you can jump into the nasty chat. Dawson Nielson saying Sharp Knife is one of my favorite songs from Whale and the Wolf. What a banger. That is a great one. Whale and the Wolf, I believe they have a show tonight. They head on the road. Not in Edmonton. I think it's out in Cold Lake or something like that.
There's another band in Edmonton tonight.
I've heard about them. Yeah, they're the reason we're not getting Edmonton Elks Justin Rankin on.
Oh, really?
We're supposed to have Justin Rankin running back on. Booked that with Hernan a couple days ago before he ditches them to come to us.
Yeah.
And he texted me last night going that Metallica, because they're here, the Elks have to be out of Commonwealth by 2 o'clock today.
Really?
So all the meetings got moved up, and the 8:30 meeting that Rankin was going to have, so we were going to have him at 8:15, got moved to 8. And so he couldn't join us at 8:15. So it's like, well, what about 7:30? And he's got some other meetings or something. So it's all Metallica's fault.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Selfishly, if anyone's looking to go to the concert tonight, I have it's actually my son. He bought tickets a couple, last year for it.
Yeah, because he's been on sale for like 5 years.
Yeah, and his friend that he was going to take can't go, so he's looking to sell them. So if you're looking to go to Metallica tonight, he's in their section MM, row 16, seats 14, 15. He just wants to possibly get his money back or best offer.
Reach out to you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Your Twitter?
Twitter, Joaquin Gage 31.
Let's talk some college football. It's week 0 in the NCAA. The college football season gets going tomorrow, but really next weekend we get a lot happening. It's going to be a wild year, a lot of changes. And joining us now, it is Shehan Jeyarajah of CBS Sports, college football national reporter. Shehan, appreciate you taking some time to join us today. We're having a little bit of the debate today. Do you consider this weekend week 0 in NCAA, or is this just week 1 to you that continues next weekend? Oh, we just have the phone issue. I don't. When we switch the boards, for whatever reason, this board we have to unpair the phone Bluetooth wise to the board. It doesn't automatically reconnect or something like that. I'll have to look into that. I'll add that to my list, Trev, for later to deal with.
Yeah, because that's happened a couple times, hey?
But like with the other board, it worked just fine. But this board has been amazing for audio.
It is really good.
It sounds just so crisp.
Way better. Yeah.
But I really want to know what he thinks when it comes to the week 0 versus week 1. Is he back on? Should be. Okay. I think we've got you back. Yeah, we've got you. There we go. We can hear you. Yeah. So sorry about that, Shehan. Is this week 0 to you or the start of week 1?
No, to me, this is week 0, and I do kind of like the idea of having this. I was kind of asked yesterday, do I wish that there was more on week 0? But realistically, this is, to me, like kind of just a warm-up run of college football. You get one kind of real game with Florida State, Georgia Tech, and otherwise it's mostly like just practice flipping the channels, just check your score apps. I think that it's perfect just the way it is as a week 0.
I like that. It's the exhibition for the fans watching. That's the way we could look at that. There we go.
God.
And then next weekend's the full week. Thank you. You've helped me with this one, so I'm very appreciative. This is a big year for NCAA football down south. We're expanding to that 12-team playoff this year. How do you think this expansion from 4 teams to 12 teams is going to impact the regular season?
Yeah, I think it's transformative, frankly. The biggest thing that I'll say is that, yes, of course, there will be more teams that make the college football playoff. But the biggest impact is we're going to see people paying attention to so many more teams heading into the month of November. Really, when you look at the past couple of years, I mean, a lot of the time, heading into November, we're looking at 7 or 8 teams for 4 spots. Well, with the expanded playoff and with conference championship races being central to that, we might be still talking about 30 to 35 teams still competing for the college football playoff heading into the month of November. So I think in such a big way, this opens up the sport. It to me refocuses on conference championships, which I think is a great thing for the sport as well. And again, we're going to get to actually see some of these matchups as well. I think, when you talk about a 14 playoff, it's such a limited sample size. We're going to get to actually see a team like, I think of like 2017 UCF. That's like, well, we could have beaten some of these teams in the field. We're actually going to get to see that opportunity heading forward, and I think that's a great thing for the sport.
We're also seeing those expanded conferences. Let's start with the Big Ten here. There's a lot of Pac-12 teams coming over. Of the West Coast teams, who do you think might be the biggest challenger to Ohio State of taking the title of the Big Ten?
Yeah, it's easily Oregon. I think that Oregon has very quietly put together a roster that's very much capable of winning a national championship in 2024. They have, they're really stacked on both sides of the ball. They're deep in the trenches. They added a couple key transfers, including quarterback Dylan Gabriel, wide receiver Evan Stewart. This is a team that I think is completely rolling. They have the depth to compete for a national championship. They've recruited at a top 5 to 7 level over the past 5 years. This is a team that I think is up for the challenge, and out of the West Coast contenders, they're number one.
Who's probably going to have a better year if there is whatever you consider to be a better year? Like it's not going to be last season, I don't think. But we've got Michigan, who are national title champs, but there are some changes there, notably at head coach. And then there's the Washington Huskies, who also have a change at head coach, but they've lost a lot of players. Who do you think is more likely to have the better season, Michigan or Washington?
Yeah, I think it's Michigan. And the reason I say that is that while they lost, you mentioned their head coach, a lot of their coaching staff, and a huge chunk of their offense, their defense returns a good amount of their best players. I look at that defensive tackle interior of Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. It's one of the best interior combos that you're going to see on the defense in college football this year. And when you look at Washington, I think that they only returned 2 out of 22 starters on both sides of the ball. Like it is a complete decimation of that team, of that roster, of that system even. And so I think this could be a really tough year for Washington. I look back at the year prior, right, when TCU made the trip to the national championship game, graduated almost all of their top contributors, and the next year they went 5-7. I don't know that it's going to be quite that bad, but I do think that they're going to be more fighting for bowl eligibility. Whereas Michigan, I don't think they're going to be right in the middle of the Big Ten race, but they're going to be in the 8-9 win range. And so I do think they will be the better team.
Shan, I was looking at some of the rankings, the top rankings, and seeing Notre Dame at 7, looking at betting sites, they're not even in the same stratosphere. How does a team like Notre Dame get ranked 7th nationally?
Well, it's an interesting one, right? I mean, part of it is they're so tough to place because they're not in the conference. You're not having to view them in the same way in the context of the Big Ten or of the SEC. Their schedule is pretty manageable this year. They have 2 or 3 really tough games, but if they're able to, let's say go 2-1 in their 3 toughest games, I think they're going to be right in the middle of things. And they're also a team too that I think people are waiting to kind of make that jump under Marcus Freeman. They've recruited really well over the past 2 years, kind of elevated their level in a lot of ways, I think you could say. But, at the same time, right, like this isn't a team that's been able, like you said, to truly compete for a national championship in quite some time. So I think that to me, they're a little overranked. I think that, maybe they're more in the 10 to 12 range, but again, their pathway to the playoffs is very straightforward, and I think that makes people excited about them.
We're talking the start of the NCAA college football season with Shehan Jeyarajah of CBS Sports. He's their college football national reporter. We've gone long enough. It's time to now talk some SEC. They also have the expansion as Texas and Oklahoma are finally joining the SEC after a number of years of this being announced. How do you think Texas and Oklahoma are going to fare in the SEC?
Well, I think that they're both a good fit to join this conference, right? I think you look geographically, they aren't in the southeastern United States, but they're right on the edge of the South. And I think that when you talk about them transitioning in, I mean, Texas could not have asked for a better way to transition into this league. They hadn't won a Big 12 championship in 14 years. They finally get a chance to do that and make a college football playoff last year. They were actually, by the way, the top-ranked Southern team in college football last year because they beat out the SEC champ Alabama for the 3 seed. So I think that they have a chance to come in right away and contend and maybe make a college football playoff. Oklahoma is kind of on the other side of things. Oklahoma, when you look at the past 20 years, has been the signature program in the Big 12, one of the signature programs in college football. But now you head into this year and this moment where they're kind of in the midst of a rebuild. They replaced 5 offensive linemen. They have a brand new quarterback. There's a lot of question marks about this team, and we're not used to that from Oklahoma. So I think Texas is in a much better position than Oklahoma to go and really try to contend.
Alabama has to get used to post Nick Saban now. Kellen DeBoer coming from Washington. We were talking about earlier Washington losing their coach. He goes to Alabama. How do you think he's going to handle the pressure of the Alabama team and running the Crimson Tide?
Well, it's definitely different than anything he's ever experienced before. You mentioned Washington, but before that, it was Fresno State, it was Indiana, it was Sioux Falls at the lower college level. Like this is something completely different. But I've gotten a chance to talk to some people who know Kalen DeBoer, who have known him for a long time, and one thing that they say is that he's just kind of unshakable. Like he's quietly confident in who he is. He's won. He's succeeded everywhere that he's been. And so I do think he's going to be able to handle this. Some of this is going to have to be him learning how to block out the noise because there's just a lot of noise. And look, realistically, this Alabama team has a really tough schedule. They have a pretty decent chance to lose multiple games in the regular season, even if they end up being a pretty good team. And so I think it's going to really come down to how does he handle the noise from those downs? How does he handle those moments of failure? Now, again, he has been in his career pretty unshakable. He's been somebody who rolls with the punches, keeps on going. And so I do think he's going to be able to adjust to all this. But, Southeastern crazy is a little different than Pacific Northwest crazy, I guess you could say. And so I think that it'll be fascinating to see how he handles that.
Also, I just want to maybe look into the future a little bit with the future Heisman Trophy winner. Looking at some of the favorites right now, Dylan Gabriel, Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers. Do you see one of those guys taking home the trophy this year, or is there going to be a dark horse that pulls up and takes that home?
Yeah, it's such a tough year to try to project the Heisman this year because I don't think that there is an obvious, out of that top group, sort of game-changing quarterback in the mold of a J.D. Daniels or in the mold of some of the guys that we've seen come through in recent years. The guys who you mentioned, I mean, I think they're all very good players, but they're just not transformative in that way. So I think that actually, to go back to Alabama and Kalen DeBoer, I think that Kalen DeBoer working with Jalen Milroe, the quarterback from Alabama, that makes me really intrigued. I think they're going to find some really unique ways to use him. He's by far the best runner coming back in college football as a quarterback. And I think that, look, if Alabama's able to, let's say that they struggle a little bit early, but really come into form by the end of the year, make the SEC championship game, maybe win the SEC championship game, I think that Jalen Milroe has the most straightforward path to me to winning the Heisman Trophy. But I do think that there's an excellent chance that there's somebody who's completely off board right now.
You can follow him at Shehan Jeyarajah on Twitter. You could read his stuff, cbssports.com. Shehan, I really appreciate the time this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day and the start of college football this weekend.
Thank you so much for having me.
Shehan Jeyarajah, national college football writer for CBS Sports, graciously giving us some time to break down the start of the season.
Jalen Maeva?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just looking up Cool Bet for futures. Plus 4,000.
Okay.
Little sprinkle. Huh?
Look at you go. Look at you go getting in the whole cool bet. Maybe you'll be Mr. Lean.
No.
Taking over as Mr. Lean.
I'm a full hug.
I like the way he described the week 0, though. It's for the fans.
All
it's
right.
our exhibition.
You like just being right.
It's not the full weekend. There's only one real game this weekend to watch if you want to watch it. And Florida State, Georgia Tech, 10 o'clock tomorrow. And then beyond that, it's next weekend we get going. So this is the chance to get used to the clicker, get used to changing the channels.
Right.
flipping around. It's our weeks. It's our preseason.
I can say we now. Can I say we now around here?
You were always able to say we.
Okay, but we need another screen out there. We need dual.
So actually, I haven't put it on that TV yet because I don't think it can work. Do you know what IPTV is?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. You can.
Well, I have one for my office.
Yeah.
Well, for my home too. And you could do a picture-in-picture with it, and you can
stuff,
pick
yeah.
whatever channels you want and all of that. That I'm going to really enjoy come college football season. There's always like 2 or 3 games I want to watch at once.
Yeah, there's my buddy Mo that he owns the first rounds, those tickers. You know that if you go to the first round, you see the ticker. He's got one of those in his house, or his old house. He did. I don't know, but his man. He used to live in the West End. He doesn't live there anymore. But he had like big football guy, and he would sit down there on Sundays with like 3 screens, 3 different games. With the ticker,
just rolling
in his house.
Well, it's safe. You have it at first round. I think you'd just be a part of that subscription because you have to pay for that stuff.
I know.
It's a subscription to get those updated properly.
Yeah.
Because I've looked for one even on for us on the bottom of our YouTube. I've looked, but I was just looking to try to find free ones or something. It's just you can't find them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I would love a little ticker at the bottom of what we do.
That'd be great.
But the only way to do that, it would be like we'd have to manually fill it out every single day and all the time.
And updates, it's going to switch.
We got to get to the Cool Bet hotline of the day. We'll do that momentarily here. Do just want to say, I know the push usually on morning shows is for the likes. Get those likes up. I'm not on the likes right now. I'm away from the likes right now. You know where I'm going with this, Trev. We've 9,811 subs to our YouTube channel.
I know.
We're about a week and a half away from the start of year 2 of Edmonton Sports Talk. So year 2 is going to begin. We started on a Wednesday for year 1, but this year 2, it's going to start Labor Day, the Tuesday after Labor Day. We've got Hernan and Gager going to be at this desk with the ESD afternoons with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage. We got Reed Wilkins with the Jay Milne Show coming with Reed and Jay. We're expanding 6 to 6. That's the start of year 2.
Yeah.
When you guys get to this desk on that Tuesday, it's going to be the morning show mostly, though, but that's the start of year 2. We need to be at 10,000 subscriptions. We need to get to that 10,000 subscriptions. And we're so close. If I can do my math correctly, it's 189 away. That's it. So for you out there, if you are listening and you have not subscribed to ESD, please just click that subscribe button. Or if your spouse or your children or your grandparents have a YouTube account, go grab theirs quickly and follow ESD, please. We want to get to that 10,000. That's the push one. I don't care about the likes. I don't care about anything else. I just want those subscriptions. So maybe could we get to 98.25 by the end of the morning show?
Oh.
That's a small amount. Yeah. That's a small amount.
Because, Trev, you laid it out a while ago that even the people that are watching, they're watching, but they're not subscribers, right? It's...
Yeah, just looking at the back end of the analytics, 60% or 30%, or no, it was 60% of you guys still aren't subscribed of our viewers. So it's fascinating. I don't know why every channel goes through this, and it's weird.
I wonder if it's because when you subscribe to things, usually online, you get the emails and the spam stuff, but
not
you don't.
YouTube.
Not on YouTube. Yeah, you don't get anything unless you hit the bell. Then you'll get the notifications, right? So it's not the annoying emails. I was thinking maybe I just this year I'll drop the puck in an Oilers game, and before I'll just grab the mic and tell everyone to get onto their phones, go onto their YouTube page, and just go on and press subscribe.
I'm not going to drop this puck or start this game until you all subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk and create a big scene.
Wouldn't that be great? Seeing everyone, no, it's not starting. And then everyone,
You take me off this ice. Or you take, because you usually would go with the Oiler jersey.
Yeah.
Right before you drop it off, you rip the Oiler jersey off. And you reveal an ES t-shirt.
There it is.
This is what we're going for. We've gained 1.
Hey, all right.
3.
Oh, we're up to 3. Yeah, we're only 10 away from 98.25.
And that's the thing. You don't know. You might have think you've subscribed, but go check it out right now. And I bet a lot of you will be like, oh, I thought I was subscribed. Oh, well, I'm going to hit the subscribe button now because you never know.
And that's all I'm asking for. Just now 10 more. That's it. Just 10 more by the end of today's show. And then next week we can make that really strong push. But so 10 more of you, just please click that subscribe button. We got to get to the Cool Bet hotline of the day. I usually do Mr. Lean when I've been on here before, but I can't do the lean. I have to make a prediction today. Or
do you?
Go into the, well, I've got to make a bet.
Okay.
I can't Mr. Lean this one. This one is the Cool Bet hotline of the day, so I have to go with my hotline of the day, and I'm looking to the CFL game later tonight. Hamilton Tiger Cats taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The first half spread, the Bombers are at -6. It's at -112. All it takes is the Bombers to be up by a touchdown at halftime against this Hamilton Tiger Cats team who were down, 32-3 last weekend at half? The Bombers just have to be up by a touchdown at half. You win that bet. -112. Bombers first half spread at -6. That's your Cool Bet hotline of the day. Head to Cool Bet and just you'd have to click on it. So what you do for this one, you find that game, click on halves, and inside halves, you do have the spread in there. Oh, it's changed actually. Can you get it a little different way? It's up to -6.5. I think you can maybe still find the -6 if you look close enough. But yeah, -6, -6.5. I like the Bombers being up by more than a touchdown at halftime. So there's your Cool Bet hotline of the day.
Changing 100.
Yes. I like it.
Your mic wasn't on for that one.
We just changed 100, Maddie.
There we go. That's awesome. But I'm on the push for the subscribers. We gained one more, so we're 9 away. We're 9 away from 98.25. That's all I am looking for. Rob from the Grove, get a QR code, Maddie. Kids and everyone nowadays loves QR codes.
Really?
They do make things easy.
They do.
Although, do you prefer the QR code at a restaurant or a menu? I like the QR code for the fact that as soon as I sit down, I could just start looking at the menu. I don't have to wait. But I'd prefer holding a menu and looking at it.
There's something to that. It's like handling a newspaper. You know, you miss the newspaper too. Just going right to the back, seeing the box scores and stuff.
You a book reader?
I should be more, but a little bit.
Paper or ebook?
Oh, paper.
It's just so much different.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
Yeah, I pounded through Dune again. Like, I hadn't read it since I was a little kid. Great book.
I still haven't finished it.
Awesome.
I do want to. That's the last book I've been reading, and it's been like months.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm with you. Like I always say, I'm going to read more. I'm going to do more reading.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
You got the nice patio out at your place. Sit outside, grab a book.
I'm of that generation though that it's just.
I know.
Constantly going on my phone, constantly seeing something, watching something.
It's awful,
and I can't get out of it.
At certain time. I mean, I'm bad for it. I look at my phone at night, and I shouldn't. I know that. I should be grabbing a book because really, it's a muscle. It's a skill. I'll read 2 pages, and I am out. But I'll build it up. And I build it up to 20 pages, 50 pages, 100 pages. But then I go back to the phone. It's that dopamine.
Raider Jesse makes a good point in the Parish Jewelers inbox. Maddie, subscribe makes it sound like it costs money. Reinforce the subscription is free. That's a great point.
Yeah.
YouTube, it's not a paid thing or anything like that. If you have a YouTube account, you just have to have an account on YouTube. And it's also, like if you have a Gmail account, you could quickly link it to your Gmail account. It's very simple. You don't get any emails about it from it or anything like that. But yeah, it's free too. You just click subscribe. And whenever we have videos come up or something, you'll get notifications that our videos were up or anything. So if we ever were to do something that isn't regular programming, you'd be notified that, hey, look, they're doing a watch party again and stuff. So it's I thank you, Raider Jesse, for that. It's all free. It's all free to subscribe on YouTube, and it helps push us up a little bit higher. So we're closing in, and look, we've gained six subscribers in the last couple of minutes.
Perfect.
That's just you might be out there too,
and you know what?
Not subscribing, and it's just that simple to subscribe and.
Sometimes it makes it easier for you to access the channel when you're on YouTube. If sometimes it has a bunch of other things. If you actually subscribe to it, you can go to your subscriptions. They're right there. Boom. 2 clicks.
It's that simple. It's that easy.
And I suggest if you're going to your friends' places, usually most set-top boxes, right, for TVs, if people do have TVs, YouTube is a app on most boxes. So just go onto their YouTube, subscribe.
You say, I want to go see something.
Yeah.
And boom, and then click
Boom.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Stick them. I actually have another YouTube, or I should do that soon. I
haven't subscribed on your second YouTube account?
Well, I have, I just realized I have a CFL Fantasy Football Gmail account.
Yeah.
I'll just link that.
I have 2
Go
Gmail
through that
accounts, and I subscribe twice. So. But you never know where I'm at.
Tommy's got to. That's why sometimes he's the wrench and sometimes actually,
Right.
you'll have to get admin rights.
Right.
You and Hernan and Reed and Jay, you're going to have to get the full rights. I have to let you in on a lot. You got the keys. Was it this week, last week. Now you got the keys to get in and out of this place.
That's crazy.
You can come on a weekend whenever you want and just drink and watch. You're now fully part of Edmonton Sports Talk here.
Eat jerky. I'm going to bring my own
That's
jerky.
what I did.
Yeah. I'll come in here and sleep with Trev.
To come on the show in the third hour, we'll have Matt Scianitti from TSN to talk some CFL. We do have Beer of the Week. We also have kind of easy trivia as well as 3 questions too many. Send some questions for 3 questions too many. Later in this hour, we still have and that's good for the Italian Center. But right now, we got a Sports Center update presented by Park Mazda with YouTube, Trev.
Coffee?
It was CFL Week 12 kickoff last night. Chad Kelly made his 0th appearance of the season as him and the Toronto Argonauts got the job done in an exciting walk-off rouge against the Saskatchewan Roughriders by the score of 20-19. The Argonauts improved to 6-4, while the best in the West are now 5-5-1 and are winless in the last 5 games. Tonight in the CFL, the 2-8 Hamilton Ticats will be facing the 4-6 Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Kickoff for that one starts at 6:30. And the Edmonton Elks continue their road trip out east. They'll be taking on the first place Montreal Alouettes on Sunday, where quarterback Cody Fajardo is set to return. The Elks are looking for their 4th straight win, which they haven't done since 2017. And Week 0 of NCAA football starts tomorrow. Florida State will be taking on Georgia Tech, and you can watch that one at 10 a.m. And in the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays defeat the Los Angeles Angels in Game 1 of that series by the score of 5-3. Game 2 of that one starts today at 5. The sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. Just a group of people who care, not unlike folks at a hip-hop concert whose hands are not in the air.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki in a tuxedo t-shirt because it says, like, he wants to be formal, but he's also here to party too.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
This is the Nielson Show. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube Trev. Trev getting a lot of love right now for that Sports Center update with his 0th appearance from Chad Kelly. Bones in the Nasty Chat adding Montreal, 0 place Montreal. They're in 0 place.
They're 0 place, that's right.
What comes before 1? Exactly. So that's why week 0 in college football. This is the Nielsen Show presented by South Fort Chevrolet. We're live in the Popeyes, Louisiana Kitchen Studio on the West End. That's good coming up very shortly. But we got to get into the Estes, 2024 Estes, the first ever Metro Cinema. If you're looking for tickets, Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Right now, I think we're at about 120, 130 people that will be in attendance. I was hoping to get to like 200 people. So
what is
we're
the
close.
capacity?
Capacity's 500.
500.
Yeah, we're not going to get to capacity.
One day.
Oh, if this goes well and people go like, this is how did I miss this? And then the
Yeah.
FOMO will come and we'll do it again next year. And we've got 23 awards. That's how many I count. Like, actually, I ordered 22 trophies, and then it was the next day I realized I forgot to order the 23rd, so I had to order a third one.
Wow.
That one cost me a little bit more money than the other one because I got to do the bulk sale and all of that. But we have to do all the trophies, and I wasn't getting rid of a category.
And don't forget the Vanity Fair party afterwards at Hudson's. So
At Hudson's, we're gonna have the full party, and unfortunately for YouTube, Trev, Dusty, and Eric, they have to figure out. Well, Trev and Eric are gonna have to convince Dusty for the ESD stat day the following day, or they're in it early in the morning the next day.
Yeah, he was. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be a tough one the next morning," and I'm like,
Dusty was saying that?
"Oh, yeah."
Yeah, I stand by the EST stat day. Either we all take it off, or we also just we just start at 9:00 and we all just have a massive hangout with everyone. You guys come in with Tommy and I, and we recap the ESTs.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
So no one has to start till 9:00.
Yeah. No, I'm good
And
with
we
that.
can have a good night. And I will say the last time I pushed for an EST stat day was the day after our Super Bowl party at Century Casino. I was saying we need a stat day. Why would we be on the air at 6:00?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to then come to Century if all of us are really going to let loose because we don't have to be on the air at 6:00?
yeah.
No, we're going to do the show from Century, all that. Okay, whatever. First thing he says to me that morning when he looks at me, literally, we should have done that stat day.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
I agree.
I don't take it lightly saying let's not go on the air.
Yeah.
So I believe that there should be a stat day for the day after, but I'm also okay not working. I had to be up for 5 that day too. This one, I don't have to be up for 5.
That is true. I'll be sure to talk. Maybe I'll talk Dusty into the 9:00 hangout. That would be fun. I feel like that would be great. We'd all be it would be a funny show. We're all just
recapping the full Estes.
Yeah. That's what we need. So I'll get on that. I'll talk to Dusty.
I'll talk to him. Good job, Trev.
The 2 categories we got to get to today. First one, rant of the year, the best rant on Edmonton Sports Talk. I am looking for some good nominations on this one, so send them in 780-218-9999 or the Paris Jewelers inbox. There's 2 that come to mind. One is Tommy, as soon as the Oilers, that post-game show when the Oilers lost to the Sharks. He had that SNL monologue.
Did he?
Going off on the Edmonton Oilers. That's one of the nominees.
Because he was done with the team.
It was a disaster.
Yeah.
They lost to the Sharks.
Yeah.
And the other was, it was our last you were on it, I think. Because it was the last hangout before Christmas. You, Murray, and I. And Murray ranted on people ripping on Stuart Skinner.
Oh. That's
I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good.
He went after the people ripping Stu Skinner. Dusty wasn't here, I remember, because he was texting after going, that was a great rant from Murray. It was an excellent rant from him, going after people of Stuart Skinner. And so those are the 2 that I have for sure as nominees for the best rant of the year. Are there any others that I am missing?
I had an okay one yesterday, but I don't want to vote for myself.
Which one?
I complained about the photo radar at the bottom of Smith Crossing.
I heard about that, actually.
Did you?
You were
I
talking
brought
about
it
that
up,
on the
yeah.
hangout.
It was good. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah. I was mad.
Yeah.
Well, Fergie's prostate is former RCMP and stuff.
Yeah.
And he even doesn't like those type of things.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Okay. Well, one, this actually, this brought up something for controversy of the year. We forgot to bring this up. And I don't know if it's, I know this is not the one that we're talking about right now, but it's just because I'm thinking of the wind controversy. That was,
Ooh.
that was huge.
That was huge.
That was big. How are we
Yeah.
forgetting about that?
Wind.
Yeah.
Controversy.
And did I go into a rant that morning? I think I did. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll throw you.
But I don't know if
We'll have to look at
I
that.
feel like the same as Gager. But also post game at Hudson's on White, Tom Gazzola. It was in the playoffs. Oh, I'll have to look. But after the show, I remember Tommy and I we were talking about this for quite a bit. He was like, "Man, I had to get that off my chest." I'm like, I'm just so frustrated right now. I'm like, no, that was good, man. Like the people were just totally they were all for it. So I'm trying to remember. I'll get back to you on that one, Maddie.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was huge. Like the Nasties were like, holy crap. And then the morning show the next day, Dusty even was like, holy crap. I've never seen Tommy let loose like that. But it was like, he was mad. I've never seen Tommy mad on air before. But that was a good one. That was a very good rant. So I'll look into that.
JL Nasty Chat saying Murray ranting about the Weather Network, which is true.
Oh, that was good. I was there for that. Like he was actually mad at Clawson for putting out what the weather's going to be like, because there's obviously a dip in tea times. That was awesome.
Dusty Jordan versus LeBron ranting. Has there been that defining rant that yet on ESD though?
I'd have to think the only one I can think of was after the Olympics, after he obviously got gold. He ripped into it saying so. There was a pretty good rant, and it definitely raised some eyebrows from a few of the nasties. So I'd agree with that. Any Maddie Trey Ford rant?
Joel sent that one in. I can't believe I don't have any of those. I have some Trey Ford ranting.
Yeah, definitely. I know
we've got a list now.
Essentially, a rant means like beef, and I know Elks.
Well, anything with those. I've got beefs would be perfect. There'd be a few there. Like, was there those ones that stood out?
I remember. LT has some pretty good ones where people. Oh yeah, and in drive-throughs, he's talked about. He's ranted about drive-throughs quite a bit, which is would be a good one. But yeah, just pretty well. Just roll back the clips on LT, and I got beef.
Rusty Shackelford, the day after the ST of the hangout should be called the hangover, just for the day.
Oh,
I do like
that's
that.
Good.
Dak saying whoever wins the rant of the year before better cherish it before Hernan gets in and just owns it for the rest of the time. He'll have some post game rants that will be pretty solid.
It'll be a Tom Brady like winning streak.
Oh, so we've added a few. Okay, that's good. And the other one is best on location of the year. That's Edmonton Sports Talk on location, where we did our shows live from that place. I have a few. I don't have it on this list that was put in front of me. I have it on my Google Drive here. I'll have to throw some because we got some really good ones, I think. We've had some epic on locations.
Got to go Vegas.
So I've got the hangout at Park MGM where Tommy, DVD, Eric, and I were on. That was the day Stoff showed up.
Yeah.
We got the hangout at Park MGM when it was in my room with myself, Dusty, and Eric. We also have the Nielson Show did a couple of good shows out in Vegas. We've got the Nielson Show Century Casino post Super Bowl. Trev kind of remembers that one. The Eric was hurting. I have a picture of him that Renee from Century Casino sent me that she took of him that day, and he just looks like a ghost. We've got us at Commonwealth just last week for the Larry Thompson announcement. That whole coverage that we had there. The hangout at Hockey Helps the Homeless. You jumped on that show. We talked to a bunch of people. So there's us at Hockey Helps the Homeless. Is there any others that I am missing for on locations? Not parties, not events. Us being on the air. Someone saying Century Casino party. That we've never been live fully at Century Casino except for Elks pre and post game. I wouldn't throw any of those fully out there for what we've been on live. I guess there's the one that when Trey Ford, after he beat Saskatchewan, I did do a legit victory lap around Century Casino Sports Bar. Jay told me to. I could throw that one in there.
Is your amenities room on there?
Oh, there's the two. Joel saying Game 7, Hudson's Post. For Game 7, we were at Tommy's patio.
Yeah.
So there'd be the pregame that day, Game 7 pregame, and then the hangouts on location with Jonathan and Alice. That one could be up for quite a few. That one's going to be up for quite a few awards. I think it is. So there's the two latest Estes categories: best rant of the year, best on location. How many more do we have to announce? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are left next week. I have to add one to the list to make it 5.
How are the vote? Are you doing a survey monkey for this? Or what's
Google Forms?
Okay,
it's. Yeah, so there's people that don't tune into the hangout. They just listen to the Nielsen Show, and I don't think Dusty knows fully how it goes, so I got to use this opportunity. Nasty Club annual members. So I have this going till Wednesday next week. Wednesday is we have our 4 major categories, which are moment of the year, show of the year, and episode of the year. Our 4th major category will be announced on the last day. It'll be one of 2 awards. It's going to happen then. Then I'll fill out the Google form properly. Maybe hopefully I'll have it up for the Labor Day weekend, so then I can have it running through Labor Day weekend and then a few days after that. But annual Nasty members will get a vote, and all staff of the EST except for myself will get a vote. And it will be there's the nominations, and we're looking for top 4. You're going to vote on the top 4.
Okay.
And then I will take the top 4 of each category, and I have a panel of 3 I've not talking to yet. I need to go talk to that panel. I need to go find those people, and then I will have them go, here's this category, go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, rank them. And then I will base it. So like first place will be worth, let's say, 5 points. Second will be worth 3 points. Third, 1 point. Fourth, 0 points. And I will balance it out or something. I'll figure out the mathing of it.
Fantastic.
And then I will go 1, 2, winner. And if there's a tie, I'll just go to the 3 of them and say, well, it's down to these 2. And it's 2 votes wins it. So I have it fully planned out. I'm not getting a vote.
Okay.
I will not vote.
It's impressive.
So it's there's 22 awards for people to vote on. There's a 23rd award that is being presented by us.
I like it.
That is it is not a voting award, but it is one that EST is going to.
That is brilliant, Maddie. I got to give you credit. But Wheels in the Nasty chat, the golf course at the ranch, when the morning show that morning, or the Nielsen show that morning.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one.
The $100,000 hole-in-one contest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so I guess, that one I guess would be. Because when we also had the golf tourney, like with that.
Yeah, that one would go in there.
Smash
I could throw that one in there. But that 100K was a bigger one. Because
that was way bigger.
We were
the
at the patio. Then we all went to the hole, and we're back at the patio, and it was all over the place. So there's a lot that's happening that way. So
Johnny Alberta into the nasty chat. This system is more complicated than income tax.
It's actually not, though. Everyone's going to get a vote, and it's going to go down to the top 4. But then I'm going to go to a panel of 3, and that 3 is going to whittle it down. But I have to do it so it's like, and I don't want the 3 people being together. So how do I wait? If one person takes, like, for the event of the year, if someone takes the hangout at Vegas 1, they take, let's say, I'm just going to go on my list here, hangouts in my hotel room in Vegas 2, Nielsen show at Century 3, and Commonwealth 4, but then someone else takes hangout at Hockey Helps the Homeless 1, Nielsen show in Vegas 2. Like, how do I value, or I guess the before, I got to just do a mathing system. It's like the Hart Trophy vote. Right? Like you got first gets so many points, second so many points, third so many points. So then it's going to come down to a point system. But everyone else, it's just going to be who gets the most votes. And they'll be the top 4 nominees. Some awards people are going to vote on with the Google Docs is going to be like 20 deep. Others are, like there's one category that's just 4 deep. You're not really voting on much there. But like guest of the year, you should see the list of guests of the year. I think I'm at 22.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. So people have to vote their top 4 out of 22.
Wow, that's
this
tough.
one is going to be like 10 deep. This best of the year. Yeah. Rant of the year is going to be like 8 deep. You got to vote for your top 4.
I like it.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a ridiculous night. I stand by that. The SCs is going to be ridiculous, but in such a beautiful, wonderful way. Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com if you haven't got your tickets yet. Only $10. Metro Cinema, September 17th. The show will get going at 7 o'clock. And as we said, the after party will take place Hudson's just after it is done. And we will push for the idea that the hangout will be the hangover that day and there will be no Nielsen show the next day. So I know people will want to talk sports that next day in the morning show, but you're going to have to wait, possibly. Unless Dusty gets his way, which he probably will, and there will be a morning show. But I will guarantee, I will put it at 90% chance he comes in and he looks at Trev and Eric and he talks about,
shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, we should have taken today off. And then I hope you guys, if that happens, you call him on it. You call him on it. This is the Nielsen Show. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube Trev with you here. Matt Scianitti coming up at 8:20 to talk some CFL. We got Beer of the Week. We got Kind of Easy Trivia. We got 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. Throw in your 3 questions too many for us to get to. But right now, it's time to get to That's Good for Italian Center Shop. It's amazing there. It's... I grew up at the Italian Center Shop.
Did you?
Oh, I'm half Italian.
Yeah, I know. But which one?
OG.
The
Little Italy, 95th
downtown?
Street.
Yeah. Okay.
It was the family church I went to. It's on 97th Street right there.
Mm-hmm.
So the family at times would go to church. We'd stop at the Italian Center after, pick up our meats and all of that stuff.
Okay.
I've had sandwiches made with those Italian meats
forever
for as long as I could remember. It's those paninos. I've had those forever. Everything. I love going to the Italian Center shop. And like, I love the West End location. Love Southside, Sherwood Park. Beautiful. I think they're having 2 in Calgary now if they're not already open to 2 in Calgary.
Really?
Yeah. But there's nothing like going to the OG on 95th Street. And there was a time we had a meeting, myself, Jay, Dusty, and someone else at the Sorrentinos next to it. And me and Jay were like, Dusty, we got to take you inside because he'd never been to the OG.
Really?
Yeah. And so we had to like take him through and be like, this is, it's not as big. It's not as massive as those other ones. But it's got the charm and it's got the history.
Yeah.
So that's the place to be. But look, what better way to celebrate week 0 in NCAA than going to get a box of donuts from the Italian Center or a panino? Get a panino and Orangina. You can watch week 0 of the NCAA. I don't know if you guys have anything for that. That's good. I have a small one. I don't want to get fully into it because I will get to it on the Hangout because Steve Sandor gave me a heads up on it yesterday, and I think he's going to want to talk about it a little bit on the Hangover. The Women's Soccer League, the NWSL, they're getting rid of drafts.
Oh,
they're taking the baby steps to go to more a European model. They're losing a lot of players to Europe. And so they're keeping it a lot more open. So they're getting rid of the drafts. They're getting rid of that North American style where you have to go in, expansion drafts. And in fact, even when it comes to trades, they'll still allow trades, but the player has to agree to the trade.
Oh, wow.
So basically, every player has a no trade clause in that sense. I love this as a soccer fan. I love this push towards that European model I'm a big fan of. I know a lot of people will not like this. I know a lot of people will push against this, say it's stupid, all of that. But for me, that's good. It's this shift that we're seeing in the NWSL to a more European model. And look, the Italian Center knows soccer too. I'll just throw that one out there. That's the place to go watch the Azzurri play when it's major tournaments, if they qualify. But I'm a big fan of that because it's... You kind of get to dictate. You're not stuck into the... We saw it with Winnipeg Jets yesterday. Have to make a trade with a player who was drafted by them who didn't want to be there.
How does it get to that point, though? Like,
which part? Like not wanting to be in Winnipeg?
Not wanting to be there. Like, you're obviously... Isn't that a discussion at... all these kids go through interviews. Like a good friend of mine, Hunter St. Martin, plays for... Well, I'm friends with him, but I'm friends with his dad. But he plays for the Medicine Hat Tigers. He was drafted by the Florida Panthers this year. And this was a few months ago. I was talking to him. And the length of the interviews that he had with with other teams as well, I don't know how you don't find that out in those discovery meetings. If this guy, like, that would be one of my first questions. Just flat out, you're American, would you consider playing in Canada? Ask him flat out. Don't waste the pick and have to be put in that situation. And I understand it. Like, I mean, I wish that there was more professional leagues actually when I was closer to, retirement that I could come home and play on. I look at all these European guys, a lot of maybe guys that aren't as established NHL players go back home and play for a few more years in their hometown or what have you. But it just seems like an elementary thing that you ask a player, would you play for our team? And find out then.
Where do you come out on a young player saying he's not going to stay somewhere? Like, go like doing this and saying I'm not going to sign and all that. Is this like, because we had a disagreement and I see the other side to this. But Zach yesterday going like, you were drafted, you got the chance in the NHL. This is what it takes to be in the NHL. You are part of a draft. Isn't this team drafted? You go play and go get to UFA status. I look at it. I'm more of the nowadays with where I am sit and go, well, no, if you don't want to play there, you don't play there. And then the team has every right to not trade you as well. But I have no problem with you trying to dictate where you want to play. In life, we get to do that with our jobs. I choose to be at Edmonton Sports Talk. Dusty didn't draft me to be at Edmonton Sports Talk. Where do you come out on a young player?
See, I'm at a different vintage. I mean, my favorite kind of sport growing up was like basketball. It looked so glamorous to me. The guys coming out of college, getting drafted to a team, and that's the team they stayed with. Like Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, Michael Jordan. Like these guys, they just stayed in one spot, right? That's what you did. So I kind of grew up that way, like thinking, okay, well, if I'm drafted by that team, in my mind, that's the team I stay with. That's the team I try to win with, right? But now it's different. They're athletes, I think, all around are little entities, little businesses on themselves, and so you do have to look out for number one. There is a little bit of arrogance there, and you don't get to that point without arrogance to get to the professional level. But to me, if I'm drafted by a team, I mean, I think there's enough prestige in being drafted to a professional sport that to think that I'm above that in some respect, I just don't like it. I don't like it as much. I think if you're drafted by the Winnipeg Jets, you're a Jet. There's a history of that team. There's something to that. I don't like. I understand it. An American wants to play in the U.S., but I don't like it. If that's
fair enough. Trev, you got any thoughts?
Yeah. This is interesting saying this, but I don't know if I like saying this, but I think I agree with Maddie here. But
you're just like every listener that we have, basically. Yeah. Anytime anyone agrees with me, it's, I hate I'm saying this, but I agree with Matt.
Yeah.
It's only taken like 10 months to be there.
No, I'm just busting your chops there, Maddie. But it's, I just put yourself in that position. For me personally, I got drafted, far away from family, and that's kind of where I'd like to be close to family. So I'd prefer to have the say to where I want to go. That being said, I don't know. Like a lot depends. Like if I'm getting, if I, realistically, it's not, it would never happen. But if I was a top prospect, and if I got traded to or if I got drafted by the Rangers, I'd be like, okay, well, this is pretty sick, playing in New York. So a lot depends. I guess it really just, for me, depends on the city, the team, where they're at and whatnot. But I kind of side with the player. I'm okay with the player having the say if they don't want to play for that team. And I kind of talked about it. If they don't want to play for that team, they're not going to be the best. They're not going to be the best person. They're probably not going to be the best teammate, and they're definitely not going to show it on the ice. So it's like, what's the point in having this guy if he doesn't want to play here? We're not going to get 110%. That's kind of where I'm at with it. So I side with the player on this.
See, who is it? Is it Askarov, the goalie for Nashville? He doesn't want to play there, but I think it's more.
Oh, there's no future.
Yeah, no, they just
signed Saros, and so it's like, how if you're sitting there, how am I going to? There's one net.
Yeah, I'm not going to get time, and I don't want to play in the American League. So I understand that way more. I get that. Like, give me a chance to go try to be a number one. I think that that's a different kind of way to do it. So I'm full on board with that, especially in that scenario. But if it's just because you're Canadian or American and you don't want to play in the US or Canada, and you've been, you're a highly touted draft pick, this team is, you can see where you might fit into the lineup and do good things. It irks me.
I want to just get through some texts in the Paris Jewelers inbox before we get to a sports update, and then we get to kind of easy trivia. Jason LeDuc, I got to give Maddie credit. I didn't think there were that many categories for the SDs, and he's hitting it for the cycle. Credit to also the boys. We had a meeting where we threw out a bunch of them, and so we got all of that. The rookie adding Cass going up against analytics. There's a lot of rants for that one.
Yeah, there's some
we have
good
to add that, no question about it. Big Uke. Every time Maddie talks about the voting system, I smile and laugh, thinking that 1 year ago, EST wasn't even live.
I know.
Well job, gents. And to Vaughn, just curious why we didn't plan the SDs for a Friday or Saturday, so there's no morning show the next day. It's because Dusty's got CFL work on TSN on Saturday and Sundays, and especially down the stretch, and that's when year one's over. So. We could try to shift it one day to be more spring, but it's not after a year type thing. So, we wanted to get it after the first year. So if we want Dusty there, which naturally we want Dusty there, it has to be on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. So that was the rationale behind that. Yeah, it would be a lot better if we could do it on a Friday or Saturday. But maybe there'll be a year where Dusty's doesn't call a game until the Saturday, and that's going to be in Edmonton. and we could do it on the Friday night or something like that. This is the Nielson Show on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Coming up in the final hour of the show, we got the wrap for William Huff. We've got Beer of the Week. We've got Matt Scianitti from TSN to talk some CFL. We got 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. Get your 3 questions into 780-218-9999. We also have Kind of Easy Trivia. If you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia for a gift card to Mr. Mike's, text us right now, 780-218-9999. Text week 0. Text week 0 to 780-218-9999. Trev will pick someone. Trev will call someone, and you will get a play for that gift card to Mr. Mike's coming up next. That's just after this upcoming sports update. Here's YouTube Trev.
It was CFL Week 12 kickoff last night. Chad Kelly made a 0 appearance of the season as him and the Toronto Argonauts got the job done in an exciting walk-off Rouge against the Saskatchewan Roughriders by the score of 20-19. The Argonauts improved to 6-4, while the best in the West are now 5-5-1 and are winless in their last 5 games. Tonight in the CFL, the 2-8 Hamilton Ticats will be facing the 4-6 Blue Bombers. A guy named Dustin Nielson has the call for that one. Kickoff starts at 6:30 tonight. And the Edmonton Elks continue their road trip out east. They'll be taking on the 0th-place Montreal Alouettes on Sunday, where quarterback Cody Fajardo is set to return. The Elks are looking for their 4th straight win, which they haven't done since 2017. And Week 0 of NCAA football starts tomorrow. Florida State will be taking on the Georgia Tech. You can watch that one tomorrow at 10 a.m. And in the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays defeat the Los Angeles Angels in Game 1 of that series by the score of 5-3. Game 2 of that one starts today at 5. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing they are an industry leader in safety. Visit www.claiborneservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call at 780-910-6728.
Baseball bat, a man with a tendency to overreact, out of control. Oh, and so it goes. The kid with the promise, with the friends with the tats, hopped in a car, now past the scalpel, stat 6 feet below. Oh, and so it goes.
This is the Nielson Show. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube Trev, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Live in the Popeyes studio here on the west end of town. We're on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Trev about to call someone for Kind of Easy Trivia for Mr. Mike's gift card. Then we'll get to 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. You've got Formula 1 going, Gage, on your phone. Is that Lando? Or is it Piastri?
That's Lando, but they got the gyro camera. So there's huge banks with this track, right? So this gives you kind of more of a actual feel of what it looks like from the driver's side and what it would.
FP2? Is this what that is? FP2 started. So Gage is all in on the show now. You're like me, you're in the Olympics when I just threw up the Olympics the entire time. There's always something else. There's nothing like watching sports while doing shows and stuff.
Oh, you need updates, right?
Well, it's just something, I don't know. It's sports during the day. It's always great. I don't want to wait till night. That's part of like when baseball season's going. It's fun because You just like you throw on a game in the background. We want that background stuff.
Yeah.
Matt Scianitti will join us at about 8:20 to talk some CFLs. We got to get back into the Rouge discussion. Look into the Elks taking on the Owls this weekend, and then beer of the week to come. Town Square Brewing is what we have for today. Yeah.
Ooh, one of my favorite breweries.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, I thought you also like it. It's like, or you're just excited that he knows. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Time now for kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's gift card. Gage, you got questions?
I'm ready to roll
Perfect.
here.
Trev, who do we got on the line?
This is Big Dave. Big Dave's going to give it a go.
Big Dave, have you ever actually played kind of easy trivia before, or is this going to be your first try?
I have. I'm 1-0.
1-0. I like that. Did you go 5 for 5 or?
Yeah, I think I did go 5 for 5. I believe so. 5 for 5 or 4 for 5.
Well, we'll just go with 5 for 5. Just always go for the higher one in that. Are you ready to play here?
Let's go.
Perfect. So I will start the ticker after Gager asks the first question. 3 out of 5 or better wins you that gift card. Good luck.
Come on, Big Dave. Let's start the weekend off right here. How many points for a Rouge point? 1 or 3?
1.
What team in the CFL won by using the Rouge last night?
Argos.
Which Skinner plays forward position for the Oilers, Stewart or Jeff?
Jeff.
What metal band is playing at Commonwealth tonight?
Metallica.
What week is it in NCAA football? 0 or 1?
Week 0.
And Sergio Ramos gets a nipple erection. Oh, is that dirty? This is not just a dream, it's a wet dream of orgasmic proportions. Oh, is that dirty?
Frustration sets in and the emotion goes out, and then you just start playing by yourself.
Oh, is that dirty?
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Oh, we ended up clicking the exact same Club Beat loops.
Oh my God, you guys!
Well, I have it, so I pressed it.
I was like, oh, what's going on?
No, I pressed Club Beat loop, and he pressed it, and I guess we picked the exact same one, just like
That's
a quarter of a second apart. So we had a little weird vibe to that. Well, congratulations to Big Dave there. 5 for 5.
Yeah,
nails it.
Good job, Big Dave.
He wins the gift card to Mr. Mike's Casual Steakhouse. The Casual is placed ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th and Mark Messier Trail with 6 o'clock lager on tap. Amish Man 19 double Club Eat loop. And that worked out perfect. Not even like picking different Club Eat loops and having to figure that out. It worked out absolutely perfect on that. There we go. Actually, I have to go to Mr. Mike's on Monday. I'll be at that end of town. So the 6 o'clock lager on tap, there's something very nice about it. It's also great to order it when they come up and be like, hey, what do you want? And be like, I'll take the 6 o'clock lager on tap. And that's our beer.
Yeah, I know. Oh, actually, that reminds me. Yesterday, at one of the holes, there was shots at the golf tournament I was at. What kind of liquor did they have?
6 o'clock lager. Oh, Birdie Booze.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you go like?
I was like,
did you go and be like, I helped taste test that one?
I didn't want to act that important, but I just said, oh yeah. I go, yeah, Strathcona, it's a great company. He goes, oh, you know this? And I go, well, I know the people that started this.
See, that's where you had a drop in. I did the taste testing.
Yeah, I know.
I chose bottle 7, not 8. You know, like
I know. Yeah.
Start really going into all of that stuff.
Yeah, they'd look at me like I had 3 heads. Who are you all of a sudden?
Let's get to 3 questions. Too many for Park Mazda, who are the number 0 dealer around. Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
Oh.
Trev really likes this.
This is fun.
This zero conversation we're having is great. Before we actually get to it, I want to do an update. We're 5 away from 9825 for subscribers on YouTube. 5 away. We want to get to 9825 as we're trying to get that push to 10,000. I'll let Dusty really get that push going with Lieutenant Eric next week. But we want to get to 9825. Please help us get that. If you haven't subscribed to Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel, please go and do that. Let's get to 3 questions. I've got some, but if you want to throw one out there still to us, a little bit of time, 780-218-9999. This one came in a bit early with the talk of all the sports going on today. What sport would you like to see come back to Edmonton or have a professional team in?
I just think I'd like the Indy to come back.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a great summertime.
Wonder where we could put it.
I know.
It would have to be a street course.
That would be so great. Going through downtown.
I would think.
Yeah. You'd have a great view, possibly.
It would have to go by Rogers if you're using
Oh,
downtown.
yeah.
Is there any way, is there any good roads that would show, I don't know, is there any way it could go down River Valley Road? So the TV cameras have the great view of the river?
Or come up Groat?
I don't think it would work.
I don't think that would work.
It's too far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have the ability to do a street course in Edmonton?
Probably not. The roads are terrible.
Maybe that's the way we pay. Maybe that's the way to sell to fix our roads a little bit at
the
times.
ride height, it would be so hard to adjust. Sergio and Max having trouble going into turn one. Sergio almost beaches it. Max has to lock up. So
I'm calling it. Max finishes out of the points this weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Trev, you got an answer?
Yeah, so I could bring in a franchise or a league, hypothetically.
Yeah. What sport would you like to come back to Edmonton or have a professional team in?
Professional team. I think it would be, if this counts, the NBA. If the NBA came to Edmonton. Does that work? Is that an answer?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah, then I'll roll with that. I think that would be sweet. You see all the big stars, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, although he's on the latter half of his career. Just so many greats. Luka Doncic. I don't know who else I'm forgetting, but obviously
LeBron. But everyone forgets about that.
That's what I was going for. But it would be cool to see. It would be really cool to see. I've never seen a basketball game at any level, so that would be cool. But the NBA in Edmonton, that would be so fun. It really would be. But I don't think that'll ever happen. But that's why dream big.
Yeah, if I had to go to the big leagues, I'd want NBA over anyone.
Yeah.
NBA won't come to Edmonton. I could live with G League. Or I could live with the WNBA. Because here's the one thing: if the NBA ever came to town, we're never getting stars.
No,
we think we sometimes have trouble in hockey getting players to come here.
Toronto has trouble getting stars.
Edmonton ain't getting anyone.
No.
So we'll draft that next Steph Curry, and he'll be here for 2 years, and get me the hell out of here, and we will have nothing. The WNBA, it's a summer league.
Yeah,
it plays through the summer. You could, with how beautiful our summers are, there might be a way to convince some of those top players to want to play in Edmonton because look how great it is here in the city of Edmonton.
I think you could.
I would take a WNBA or a G League team.
And when Caitlin Clark comes, it's sold out.
It's sold out.
I would
also
same division as would that be in the same?
Which part?
The Edmonton and Caitlin's in Indiana.
She's in Indiana. You think would they be in the same division?
Yeah, same division.
I'd have to see where the teams are.
Anyways.
So they are in the Eastern Conference, not the West. But if you're adding teams, because who's coming? Toronto's coming and San Francisco's coming, Golden State. So it's still going to be separate. Maybe. Indiana would be right on that line.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big Paige Beckers fan. I think Paige Beckers is going to be a star.
Yeah, my algorithm shows her games and what she does.
Caitlin Clark?
Yeah. She's awesome.
It's ridiculous what she's doing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She has lived up to the hype.
Oh, and Paul Cyr when he was on the Hangout, he was mentioning how this is scratching the surface for Caitlin Clark because she essentially finished her NCAA final season and had a few weeks and went right into the WNBA season, right? So there was no preparation, no summer training, and now she has the experience of playing at that level against stronger, older, faster women. Now she can actually kind of develop a plan to make herself better. It's going to be even worse for teams.
She didn't get time off.
Yeah.
And there's an issue with that a little bit because it leads to some injuries for some. Cameron Brink with LA, she went down with an injury.
Yeah.
She played too much.
Yeah.
When she gets that full off season next year, Caitlin Clark, and then could come back and be ready to go, it's going to be scary in the WNBA.
Yeah.
Some messages into the nasty chat. Jasmine likes your answer, Trev. # Association City. Johnny Alberta, I want Edmonton back so bad. Jared MLS team, so we can get a dome stadium and share with the Elks. It has to be a retractable roof stadium. If we ever get a new stadium, it cannot be domed.
No.
It has to be retractable roof or open.
Yeah.
I'll still stick with open over a fully domed, but I would like an MLS team. I would like a soccer team. There's no question about it. Kyle the Embalmer, he had you go down for Indy.
Okay.
Go down the high level and come back across the Walterdale. I don't know if that would work fully.
Yeah.
But it would be fun.
It would be fun.
I don't know if you'd be able to put a lot of stands around there too easily as well. But imagine those cars going across the high level in the Walterdale.
That would be unreal. That'd be good.
I saw baseball one. I thought a little bit more. I love the Riverhawks. If the Edmonton Riverhawks could also be AAA ball,
that would be that would be great.
Give it to me. That would be absolutely incredible.
Riverhawks AAA baseball. But I like the Riverhawks. I like that it's college guys too. There's something to it a little bit. It's appealing.
Question number 2. Metallica at Commonwealth this weekend. Somebody is asking if you're slinging dogs. But I will go with this also question for 3 questions too many. How many hot dogs will be sold at Commonwealth this weekend? You think the Metallica crowd's going to be big hot dogs?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Concerts are awful. I did that. Is it Luke Combs?
Yeah.
I did that one.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous how many items of food that we sold that night. It doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. I think there's a little bit of THC involved in this evening's
you think
celebration of Metallica?
I think everyone's going to be very responsible, and there's going to be a lot of water drunk, and that's about it. People are there. People are there just to have a good time and listen to some music.
You know,
that's it.
Metallica. I mean, they've been around for decades, so you will see the aging rocker, so to speak. You know, dust off the black jeans and white high tops and tight shirt, maybe a leather jacket or two. Oh, it's going to be warm. Never mind. But there might be a little responsibility, but no, it's going to be full on tonight.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 28 degrees. When's day 2? Is it on Sunday?
Sunday.
It's Sunday. They get the day off. 22 degrees on Sunday as well. Sunny both days, so they're going to be absolutely amazing. So they'll sell a lot of dogs?
Yeah, because at Elks games, it's the first rush, you know, and mostly it's young families getting stuff for the kids and things like that. There is a bit of a little bit more at halftime, but then it's done. Concerts, it's full on.
Question 3, I'm going to play off of this now and play off of actually that first question to question 3. If you could bring one act to Commonwealth concert-wise, who would it be? While you guys think, I'll answer. I'm going, and look, I'm a fan of theirs. I don't care. You can judge me. Music's music. You can love whatever you want. I want to see Coldplay in a stadium. I've seen Coldplay multiple times in an arena. I do believe they've put on one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. I believe anyone that just thinks or likes a couple of Coldplay songs. If you don't like any Coldplay song, never go see Coldplay, clearly. If you like just a few songs, go check them out. They put on an amazing show. I've seen some videos of concerts, I like stadium shows, and they look ridiculous. I would love to see Coldplay at Commonwealth in a stadium show.
I would second that, Maddie. I've seen the videos and they look amazing. And you hear everyone when asked this question, a lot of the time they say Coldplay. So that would be cool. Coldplay would be cool, but I wouldn't mind seeing Rapticum open for Eminem. Eminem at Commonwealth. I've always wanted to see Eminem. That would be really cool.
Eminem came. Kyle saying Eminem too.
Yeah, that would be so sweet.
Gager?
You know, I watched this video of this reluctant dad going to the Eris just at the movie theater to watch Taylor Swift, and he was so upset that he had to go to this movie theater with his wife and daughters, and she filmed it, and afterwards she filmed it, and so she asked her husband, "What do you think?" And he was so upset with his head on against the steering wheel, and he looked over at his wife and said, "It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen." And I think I would like to go see a Taylor Swift concert. I hear it's ridiculously awesome. I'm not a fan of her music at all, but when you get into an outdoor concert, like you said, open roof,
something different,
everyone's vibing. That's there's something to music outdoors in a huge stadium with with thousands and thousands of people, I think I'd like to see it, just to experience it.
I've seen enough rock at Commonwealth.
Yeah.
That's where, like, I've seen AC/DC twice. They've put on amazing shows. AC/DC 09, anyone that's been there, they talk about it. It was the greatest show.
Because it rained during thunderstruck.
Yes, and there was lightning in the background.
Yeah.
It was just Mother Nature made it fantastic. I wish I could get that like on film. Like I would love to just go rewatch that one. But that's where I'd go with something different. Eminem would be pretty cool. I would like T Swift to come, but not to go. I also think it'd just be massive for the economy. Her pulling 5 shows, 3 shows, 4 shows, whatever it would be, and the amount of people that would flock just to go see Taylor Swift because they want to go see her.
She could play at Commonwealth, and they'd replace Garth Brooks' banner.
At Rogers. There's 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. This is the Nielson Show. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube Trev with you here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports to come still this hour. It's the wrap for William Huff. We also got Beer of the Week with Town Square Brewing. But right now, joining us on the phone from the CFL on TSN, it is Matt Scianitti. Matt, appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us here. We got to look at the game last night between the Argos and the Riders and start where everyone is talking about, and the game ending on a missed field goal with a Rouge. What are your thoughts on how that game ended?
Yeah, it's the second time, guys, that I've seen that happen at BMO Field in the last few years, and it's a wonderful, glorious, quirky part of our league, but at the same time, you really don't want a game to end like that. If we're all being honest, not that it's any kind of indictment of Liam Haralahu, but you look at the week previous and kind of the drama around Brett Lawther and then his miss at the end for the potential tie, and it added that sense of drama. Liam Haralahu missing and then still celebrating because the ball went through the end zone is not exactly the way that I think anyone wants to celebrate a victory. But Ryan Dinwiddie didn't really care after the game. I don't know. I don't think the league is going to look at it because it's one of the everlasting quirks of the league. But part of me wishes they would. I think we're way past the Rouge at this point.
Okay, I'll put Matt Scianitti as the commissioner of the day for the CFL. Is that? Are you saying you'd get rid of the Rouge entirely, or would you just amend it where, like, some people will say maybe it's on missed field goals it doesn't count, or some will say in the final 3 minutes you get rid of the Rouge? How would Commissioner Matt Scianitti handle the Rouge?
No, that's listen. If anybody wants to see me with the commissioner hat on the Canadian Football League, they know that it's going to probably cause a lot of problems in the Canadian Football League. But I would say get rid of it. I mean, the fact is there's so many other wonderful ways. What the CFL is defined by is not the Rouge. It's 3 downs. It's the waggle. It's the yard off. Like, to me, the fact that the Riders had 3 stops inside the 5-yard line with a yard off the ball in the CFL, where we oftentimes think it's a gimme, but it wasn't. I mean, that is a wonderful way of just encapsulating the league, and yet drama within kind of the quirks of the league. The Rouge is just. I understand it's part of the league's history. I think we can move on from it and not hurt any of the uniqueness of the Canadian Football League.
Yesterday we saw the return of Chad Kelly with the Toronto Argonauts after his suspension. Last week we saw the return of Nathan Rourke to the Canadian Football League with the BC Lions. Wasn't exactly as good of a strong performance for Nathan Rourke, clearly having to readjust to the CFL game and the system of the BC Lions. But what did you make of what you saw from Chad Kelly yesterday, who threw for over 300 yards?
Yeah, I think you saw what you expected, which was some good, some bad, and some things that need work. Clearly, that chemistry with him and Demonte Coxie is still there. Demonte Coxie, irrespective of that drop in the end zone that was reviewed by the Command Center, he's just one of the great contested catchers in our league. But you have to zero in on the miscues inside the goal line. Clearly asking questions about why wasn't Cameron Dukes in for some of those? Why wasn't Kadeem Carey in for all of them? Some of the choices that Ryan Dinwiddie made, the miscues, the miscommunication between Kadeem Carey and Chad Kelly. So details, much like the Nathan Rourke situation, details will have to be worked out. But I don't say this because I want there necessarily to be a test of Chad Kelly's character every single week, but Ryan Dinwiddie called it a hornet's nest, what the Argos are about to walk into in Hamilton. And, certainly I know the passion of Edmonton versus Calgary. Been very lucky to be in Alberta to cover games many times. But there's a unique kind of anger and vitriol that is in the Labor Day Classic between the Argos and the Ticats, and Chad Kelly's presence is inevitably going to turn the temperature up. So how he prepares this week for a game, irrespective of what happens to Hamilton this weekend, whatever happens in their game against the Bombers, the fans at Tim Hortons Field, and it will push close to 25,000 of them. We'll be waiting for Chad Kelly. They'll be waiting for the Argos. And I think, yes, it was an adjustment last night for Chad Kelly coming back to the Argos, his recent statement, everything surrounding him in the media that previous week. But what he's about to deal with this Labor Day Classic could be something very, very different, because the fans in Hamilton are just waiting to share all their opinions with him, and the feistiness of the Labor Day Classic is going to reach a whole other level next week.
Matt, I want to go to the Elks' upcoming game against the Alouettes here, and Fajardo seeming like he's coming back. McLeod Bethel-Thompson starting. It seems like a year of the quarterback in the CFL, and I mean the guy sitting to the left of me wants a certain member of the Elks to get the ball on most snaps with Trey Ford. Do you see a sort of a? Is it just going to be the guy that does the best job, or if you win, you're in with the Elks at this point? And just the matter of fact of the game itself, do you think that the Elks have a really good chance of extending this winning streak to 4 games? Yeah, this is a huge game. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you don't need me to remind you how packed the West is right now. I mean, BC, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton are all separated by 4 points. And this is one of those games where Edmonton gets a win. All of a sudden, it changes the entire complexion of that race in the West. But that Winnipeg defense, my goodness, it looks real good right now, regardless of certainly the early disappointments in the season, and the fact that I don't think anybody expected them to be below 500. But there is still that element that you talk about with this Elks team, and Trey Ford being healthy, McLeod Bethel-Thompson being healthy. Who gives you the best chance to win? Because early on in the season, there were so many close calls and near misses for Edmonton. But this is going to be quite a test for Jarius Jackson now, because if in fact they get the win and they vault themselves right into the conversation for a playoff place, and even the conversation to host the West Semi, that all of a sudden changes the equation. And do you stick with the guy who has a hot hand, or do you go ahead and try to develop a 2-quarterback system? It has certainly worked in the history of Edmonton before, but McLeod Bethel-Thompson has also himself said that you can't be a quarterback and kind of be pulled out for some plays and put in for some packages and not for others. So, when I watched them certainly last week against, it has to be said, a poor Hamilton Ticats team, I see a team that is gaining its confidence, that those plays that were near misses before, and we're talking about certainly early on in the season, they're no longer that much of an issue. So I'm excited to see this game, only because of the way that Winnipeg is playing on defense, but specifically to see if this momentum is actually real for Edmonton, if they have turned that corner here, because every week in the West, certainly there's Saskatchewan losing last night drags them back closer and closer into it, but you could potentially look at the next 4, 5, 6 weeks and see that whole top to bottom in the West constantly change week in and week out.
Yeah, and one of the reasons we're seeing that change is the Lions. They've lost 4 straight. They've been reeling a little bit. They get Ottawa for the first of a back-to-back with them. What have you seen with BC that has caused this stretch where at one point we're sitting there thinking everyone that they're just going to run away with the West in this sense, but now they are with everyone else. What have you seen has gone wrong with the BC Lions? Where are they not just at the best right now?
I think the quarterback situation is in this league, especially the way that Vernon Adams has started the season, and and then for him to go down, and now onboarding Nathan Rourke. Yeah, I mean that is going to hurt any team's momentum. But I'm not that worried about Nathan Rourke because I'm not implying that I understand head coach Rick Campbell's reasoning for putting Nathan Rourke in on a very short week, coming back after being in a handful of NFL with a bunch of NFL teams, really focused on his NFL opportunities, obsessed with really locked into the playbook of the 11-man game. But I think that whole situation last week against Winnipeg was just sacrificing potentially that game for just giving Nathan Rourke the reps that he needs at game speed. And this is he is so dedicated to his operation and his process that I'm not worried about Nathan Rourke. I'm not worried about how he's going to approach the next few weeks. Is it going to be particularly challenging for BC and what is the slugfest in the West, perhaps? But if he gets up to and gets the chemistry with his receivers that we know Rourke did back in 2022, I don't have as many concerns about the Lions. It's just at this point, it's making sure that he has all the reps and resources at his disposal, because he like Zach Collaros. When you look at all the quarterbacks right now in the West, with all due respect to McLeod Bethel-Thompson and Trey Ford and Jake Mayer and even Trevor Harris, when Zach Collaros and Nathan Rourke are playing at their best in that division, they are the class of it. So I'm excited to see how Rourke kind of adapts back into the CFL game, because I really think he could be a huge difference maker for BC.
Matt, really appreciate you jumping on with us late notice and talking some CFL. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and look forward to watching more of your stuff on TSN.
Take care, guys.
Matt Scianitti, CFL on at TSN with us. We've got Bombers, Ticats tonight, BC, Ottawa tomorrow. They're 6-3-1. They don't get a lot of respect right now, I think. But if they could go knock off BC today, or tomorrow, that's a big deal. And BC would be losers of 5 straight, so they're really going to need that win. But the Elks, Als, Sunday, Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, where every day is game day. Myself, Jay Milne will be there 4 o'clock for the kickoff show. We'll be there for the post-game show. Come join us. $14.99 cheese and jalapeno smoky with waffle fries is the game day special. Also, the Sunday daily special. It is the surf and turf for $11.99. 6 o'clock loggers are on special during Elks game. The game day drafts on special during Elks games. They've got all the wall of TVs, and Jay and I have really been getting into the ponies the last few weeks. So I've gone from I always go through this. I do the win play show bets. So, I'll do shows, and it's for third. Yeah, well, I won a few. So now I'm on the places. I'm going for just places. And then I didn't do as well last week. But once I win a few of those, it always happens. And I start being like, well, I need to get into the trifectas. Yeah. And then I never win trifectas.
Do you go out to the...
I haven't been to the new one.
No?
I haven't been to the new one yet. But there's something wonderful about being at the horse track.
It's great. I took my kids 2 years ago. They won some money, and they got all into it, like going to look at the horses before and stuff. And
they
going,
did the walk down.
I like that. I like that one. That one looks good. Yeah.
I learned from Jay, bet on the Grays. Also, there's something about when you go to the horse track, you go to Century Mile. Look, you go grab dinner, cost of dinner.
Yeah.
You don't have to bet a lot. I bet $2 on races. You could take $20, bet on every race.
Yeah. Sprinkle.
Through the dinner, all of that, night being $50. Yeah. You got entertained the whole night. It's a great time. It's wonderful. And if you win a little bit of something, even better.
Perfect.
I won the first 2 weeks. I walked away with money. Last week, I didn't walk away with money. So we'll see how I could recover. And it's commercial time. I run to the machine, put my bet in, come back, watch the races with the Elks game. Wonderful way to spend a Sunday. Soon enough, we will get to Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Town Square Brewing. We got Brandon in the studio. Joaquin Gage, Matt Iwanyk with you here on the Nielsen Show. But right now, it is a YouTube Trev Sports Update here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
It was CFL Week 12 kickoff last night. Chad Kelly made his first appearance of the season as him and the Toronto Argonauts got the job done in an exciting walk-off Rouge win against the Saskatchewan Roughriders by the score of 20-19. The Argonauts improved to 6-4, while the best in the West are now 5-5-1 and are winless in their last 5 games. Tonight in the CFL, the 2-8 Hamilton Ticats will be facing the 4-6 Blue Bombers. A guy by the name of Dustin Nielson has a call for that one. Kickoff starts at 6:30. And the Edmonton Elks continue their road trip out east. They'll be taking on the first-place Montreal Alouettes on Sunday, where quarterback Cody Fajardo is set to return. The Elks are looking for their 4th straight win, which they haven't done since 2017. And Week 0 of the NCAA football starts tomorrow. Florida State will be taking on Georgia Tech, and you can watch that one at 10 a.m. And in the majors, the Toronto Blue Jays defeat the Los Angeles Angels in Game 1 of that series by the score of 5-3. Game 2 of that one starts today at 5. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months interest-free and be entered to win your purchase up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor. You can find them next to Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
This is the Nielson Show, presented by Southport Chevrolet on your clear choice for Edmonton sports. That is Edmonton Sports Talk on edmontonsportstalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, as well as for everyone watching on YouTube. And from the past, hello to those in the future listening to this show on podcast. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube Trev with you here. In a few minutes, we will get to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Still time to get in for the text of the day for A&W for $20. 780-218-9999. Text those in Paris Jewelers inbox. I have one. I think it could be beat. You know, there hasn't been anything that's been massive today in any sense. So there's still time to win that $20 gift certificate to A&W by texting. And we also will have the wrap for William Huff. I'm excited about this CFL weekend continuing today, though. I'm excited for NCAA. This is where the weekends are now busy again. This is where they get full. It's week 0 in college football to get us prepared for this. But next weekend, you got college football, you got CFL Labor Day weekend. And the weekend after that, you got the NFL thrown in there. There's obviously F1. You want to do an update of what's going on at Free Practice 2, Gage?
Very interesting Free Practice 2, because usually you see some longer runs. So they were all in the mediums first, going on a little bit of seeing some race pace, and I believe that Hamilton had the best time on the mediums. Now they're all on the softs, and it's really interesting. So we've got Russell currently at P1, followed by Piastri, Hamilton, Norris, Verstappen, and at 5th. So, and they're all on the soft tires. So they're looking at probably 1 lap pace at this one. This is going to be a fun race to watch because they're all within 0.02 of a second.
Okay, I know you haven't been able to watch it fully because you're kind of busy doing a show, but I'm seeing George Russell has done 13 laps, Piastri 13, Hamilton 12, Norris 12, Verstappen 11. At the very bottom, Carlos Sainz has only done 7. Why would he have only done 7?
I saw he was in the pits, so I don't know if there's something
car issues
or something like that. So
because everyone else is in double digits and he's just sitting at 7th.
No, he was out of the car. So
yeah.
Qualifying
tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Race Sunday at 7 o'clock. It's the best way to start a weekend day.
Yeah, especially if you're going to Metallica, you just kind of wake up with that. You need some water, lay on the couch, throw on qualifying.
PVR it. Don't get up for 7. If you're going to Metallica tonight, don't be getting up for 7. PVR it. But when you wake up, just don't look at your phone. Head to the couch, grab the water, grab the electrolytes, order some
F1
A&W to come in.
Is so good. Like the helmet cams for McLaren are just because they have that like GoPro gyro thing, and it just looks so good. Because this, you can see the bank, like the corners in Zandvoort are absolutely ridiculous, and it gives you a really good feel of what the drivers experience. I love it.
We are 4 subscribers away from 9825. That's it.
Come on.
That's all we're looking for. We're just 4 more subscribers. If you do not subscribe to the Edmonton Sports Talk channel, please subscribe. Or if you want to do something extra nice today for us, just create another YouTube account.
Yeah.
And subscribe to us. We want to get to 10,000 by the start of year 2. But today, all we're trying to get to is 9825. So that's the push. We're 4 subscribers away, and we've got 20 minutes left in the show. Can we get 4 more subscribers? We would really appreciate it. Coming up today, it is the Hangout. Myself, I will be on the show with Steve Sandor of Canadian Press, Edify Magazine, as well as Jeff Krischel of Crush Performance. They'll be by, so we'll have a fun little show. And then the Lock Shop coming up. No oil stream today. We won't have the oil stream on, but we'll be on.
It's a stat day for the oil stream.
We're a little tapped.
Maddie's on for 15 hours today.
A little tapped. With that, let's get to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, YouTube Trev with you here in Edmonton Sports Talk. And he's still just setting up a little bit more. Brandon Boutin from Town Square Brewing, which is out in Ellerslie here in Edmonton. He is with us here on Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. I have never hosted Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week either. And in fact, whenever I produced, I never got any.
Oh my gosh.
So at least Trev gets some now. At least they get passed along. He got the mug today. And actually, Brandon being very kind, bringing coasters. Somebody actually looking after our desk here. First time. These are nice coasters.
My favorite beer is on this coaster. Can you guess which one? No. Just above.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's orange creamsicle ice cream that was bit into.
The brain freeze. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a milkshake IPA.
Just go so with the mic, just got to speak right up into that and it'll be good. Nope.
It's a milkshake IPA. Comes in at 8% ABV, so it's a little bit dangerous. Got to pace yourself on that one.
Put that mic right
there. We
go.
go.
Perfect. Oh, it's great. So how are you today?
Good.
All good for the mornings?
Yeah. Ready to rock and roll. Missed the gym because I had to be here today. But,
are you a morning gym guy?
Sorry, yeah.
Murray McCourt's a morning gym guy too.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous.
It's quiet though. It's quiet in the morning. That's the best time to go.
He goes to 2 gyms though. He has his home gym.
Yes,
and he goes
in the winter. Yeah, he does a workout at home, and then he drives to the gym and does another workout.
Just to show off to the
I he's just that. It's Murray McCord.
Psycho.
He's a psycho. So what are we sampling here today?
So 2D is the featured beer, and so this one is kind of a blend between a New England IPA and a sour beer. It was actually inspired. Do you mind if I just go on a rant?
Go.
Yeah. I don't know the whole format here, so.
Yeah.
This was actually inspired through some criticism we got through a bunch of food bloggers. And so we were a fledgling company when we first got going with no hospitality background at all. Obviously just a couple home brewers just passionate about what we wanted to make. And so we actually had some food bloggers come down on us within the first 4 months of operation. So while we were working out our kinks, and one of the criticisms we had was towards our beer being just like one-dimensional. And so we thought, okay, well, we better come up with something a little bit more of a profile and two-dimensional. So that's where 2D comes from, is two-dimensional.
I like
and
that.
so we took two styles that we fell in love with, which is the New England IPA, which is a long-time trending beer, and the kettle sour beer. And we just smashed them together, and that's where this came out of. And so you get a good juice bomb out of it, but you also get the tangy from the sour.
I'm a big sour guy. I like sour beers.
You like this one? You will.
Yeah, it's I don't know. There's just something about it, but it's where I like to go to. If I see a sour on a menu, I'm generally trying a sour.
So I don't
look
know
at
how
that.
much we get pouring here for everyone.
Oh, whatever. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Bring that glass over here. I've got another 2 hours of radio.
And do I just throw this over at you or what?
I can.
Yeah, just take it.
There we go.
Just take it. There.
So
Are you gotta have some too, don't you?
yeah, we'll have to get tried. Or you?
Well, I'm
We could have a
actually,
little
honestly, it's kind of a little bit weird as a brewery owner and a co-founder, but I actually don't drink anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I sample the stuff that's coming off the tanks, but that's as far as I actually go.
Well, let's give this a
Otherwise, I
try.
won't be able to drive home from here because it's been so long. So
Who are we cheers to? Week 0 in college football.
Week
There you
zero.
go.
Week zero.
There we
Week
go.
zero.
Oh, that's good.
You'd like if you like
And
sour.
it's not too sour or
No.
anything like that. I know that some people would look and
Yeah.
go with a sour and just be like, that's just way too. That's a good
just think,
hint
like,
of a sour.
plus 30 on the patio. I think it's refreshing.
Sometimes you also have a sour and you're like, I could only have like one maybe.
Yeah.
I could have quite a few of the 2Ds.
That's the nice thing with it being blended with the New England, right? It helps cut that pH sour that's in there. Otherwise, you get the sour that bites you way in the back here, almost like the sour candies.
How'd you guys get started? Like what town square? Like what was the initial? Was it just a bunch of guys that were looking at becoming brewers, or?
So initially we wanted to actually franchise a pizzeria out of the States, and we ran into a lot of red tape trying to get them across the border. They supported a lot of their local craft breweries, and so as a home brewer myself, I thought that would be something that Edmonton would really take on, supporting local. And so with that red tape kind of getting in our way, we decided to rip off that model in our own style and started the pizzeria. Within the business plan, writing the business plan, I had this crazy desire to start, maybe have like a little pilot system, and then I can have one single tap that I can play with if I'm going to be there every day. And then talking to other people that were starting breweries, they're just like, no, you're crazy. Like you'll be a slave back there, based on what we're seeing for trends. And this was 2016, and so we decided, okay, well, we'll stretch our pockets as far as we possibly can. We consist of 3 families altogether. Okay. And so we stretched our pockets as far as we possibly could and scaled up our brewery system to a point where we could actually hire a brewer. And that's sort of like the starting of the brewery. And when we came out of the gates, we focused on food a lot. And that was our primary source of the business. And then within the first 6 months, the beer ended up taking ground. Obviously, that was the craft beer boom in 2016, 2017. And then, the brewery took hold of everything else. And now I am a slave back there at a different scale.
Well, if you've never been, just off of Parsons Road, right? Close to Ellerslie there. Very unique little brewery, as you can tell. I've been there a few times. But upstairs is a little eating area, and you can see all the old barrels, and quite enjoyable little place to have a beer and some food.
Well, we also given the menu here. You dropped it off, and like that's I find some of the best places to go eat are at breweries. Like they just have a great food, and part of that is it's not a massive menu, so you crush out the food as well. How important was it for you guys to have this type of menu?
So the menu we wanted the food to represent who we are as an eclectic group of owners, and obviously from a creative standpoint, like our beer. And so the food you'll find, is as creative as the beer. It's not just your normal ham and pineapple pizza or pepperoni pizza. Obviously, pizza is a big part of what we do at Town Square. So you'll see like a soul food pizza on there, Bubba approved, which is like a pierogi pizza. We did a partnership with Meat just off White Ave there, and so we took their smoked brisket, and that goes on the pizza. Not just the brisket, but kind of spice it up a little bit. And we've got their barbecue sauce on there as well, and some pickles and some chips. So kind of make it a little crazy, just like a lot of our other creations.
Pickles on a pizza actually work.
They do.
It's wild. You wouldn't think that. Anytime you get pickle on a pizza, give it a try.
Yeah.
I'll say that right off the bat.
Chips add that extra texture. So currently, I just gonna boast that one because it is my running favorite. So yeah.
What else should we try here?
So with us being on a sour kick here, we're just gonna quickly run through the sours and then maybe rinse your palate and get on to something else. So peach sangria, white tea sour. So this is actually made with the base of our 2D, and then we steep it with tea from the Tea Girl. And so a lot of these beers all have stories. And so like 2D, I gave you guys a story behind that. This was just a partnership that's just been flourishing. So she keeps presenting new teas, and we want to try them out. And this was one of the ones that we decided, hey, like it's not just a tea that you drink in a glass. Let's just steep it in some beer and see what happens. And so that's where peach sangria came out of it. And oddly enough, it's like with 2D being the base, like you think it tastes like 2D, but the peach sangria actually seems to dry it out almost like a sangria.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. Just keep her going. Just keep her going.
It's going to be a hangout today. I'll say that much right now. I will say I am a sucker for anything peach. You put peach in the name of the drink, and I am immediately going, yep, I'm in.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about this.
Maddie, you are a peach. So.
Aw, Gager. I know what we're cheersing to here. 98.25. We did it. We did it. We did it. We're at 98.25 subs. Oh, perfect hint of peach.
Yeah.
Perfect amount of peach that you want in something like that.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's good.
Throw your mic on.
Holy crap. Yeah. I've never had anything like that before.
So there's 3 kgs of tea that actually goes into that beer.
Really?
Yeah. So it smells beautiful when you're doing it, and yeah, it comes out like that.
That's that goes down nice and easy, and
try
that's
this
delicious.
with a margarita pizza.
There you go.
Unreal.
On a sun, like this is absolutely like today 28 degrees or something.
Yeah.
Enjoying this outside.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is
hey.
Pre-game for Metallica right here. You know. Awesome. You Metallica guy?
I was, yeah.
Are you going?
I haven't listened for a long time to them. But
got your tickets? Or
no,
not going.
I got 2 tickets.
I'm waiting for
$400.
you to hand them out.
I wish. We haven't gone there yet. Actually, we need. That's the next thing that EST needs to get into is the ticket giveaway game.
Yeah,
for concerts. We need to get into. I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out. You guys have some really unique labels. Where do you guys get your labels done up, and like who designs all these?
So a wide variety of people. Typically reached. When we first got going, we had a young lady that started with us, and we found out that she was a professional artist. And so she designed a lot of our older labels, and our newer ones, one of our shareholders has actually been designing it and pumping them out. Yeah. And then we've also partnered with other artists within Edmonton and surrounding area to help us out.
They're beautiful. That's what I also love about the sticker game with the cans.
Yeah.
Is that everyone, like, it's just, they could come up with such unique designs for you. You just have to buy the can and then just putting stickers on them.
Yeah, so like, believe it or not, like you can have the best beer, and if you have the crappiest label, you just don't get picked out. Like, I don't know if you guys do a plug. I'll do a plug for some of the liquor stores, but like Keg and Cork or Sherbrooke Liquor, when you walk into their cooler, it's just an overwhelming sense of, you know, what's coming at you. So you got to have a label that is going to stand out and catch the eye, you know, in order to get pulled off the shelf.
What else should we be trying here?
Move down the line as quick as we can. So Beats right here. So Beats is actually...
Have you done this one?
Yeah.
So this is our most famous beer. It's won multiple Canadian Brewing Awards, and then it actually won 2 years ago a World Beer Cup, which is, you know, competing on a world scale. At that point, we were the third brewery to ever win in Alberta, which was and for a beet beer to boot, right? So
we'll give this a try. I've never tried a beet beer. I will say that. I've never gone into that, but I do love beets.
My first time trying this beer, it was at my local liquor store. And I was like walking the dog, and I was like, okay, I'll try the beet beer. And obviously you can see by the color, but I love beets. So it's a little bit different. But I mean, there's not many beers from Town Square I don't like, because they're all so different. Like the first two, they're quite different than one another, right? Like, so this one, you'll get a completely different taste.
Even though they're based from, as you're saying, that the peach came from the 2D. So, look at you go, Trev. What are we going to cheers to on this one?
Here's to a solid F1 weekend.
There we go. There we go.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You taste those
but
beets,
you can taste the beets, right?
It comes very nicely in.
Yeah.
I enjoy that very much.
Because beets are, you know, there's not a lot of people that like...
They're polarizing.
They're polarized. Yeah. It's like cilantro almost. Like
love it or hate it type thing?
Yeah, so, but...
Interesting is a good way of going, but it's delicious.
It's delicious. Yeah.
So quick little backstory on this guy. This was our very first kettle sour that we ever brewed. It was inspired by a kombucha, actually, that had beets in it. And so we were sitting at the bar enjoying this kombucha, and I was like, man, I really love that color. We're trying to figure out a recipe for kettle sour, how to do it. And I was like, man, if we're going to fail, let's fail hard and let's throw some vegetables into this thing and see what happens, right? And so there's actually 140 pounds of pureed beets that goes into this thing. Wow. And they're hand peeled, hand cut, and then like we puree them and inject them. And so they also come from Riverbend Gardens, just out of Edmonton here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what the guy told me the one day I was asking about it. I had it. I was drinking. I did a flight one time. This was a while ago, and it's delicious. Love it.
By the way, the 2D is the beer of the week for Sobe Safeway Liquor, $15.99 for a 4-pack, which you can go get now at Sobe's and Safeway Liquor. Well, in an hour or so, in like 2 hours. It's not open as of right now.
It is. Or no,
it's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
So it's 10 o'clock, right? Yeah. 10 usually.
Okay, so I'm just going to clear you guys' palate here, just because obviously you don't want
So you guys do
taste
water.
I've never. What is this? Can you explain what this is? I've never seen
Sparkling
it.
water?
So this is, like a sparkling water. So it is our Talus sparkling hop water. And so hops actually have a lot of health benefits. They help cut anxiety. They're sleep aid. If you're dealing with like going through menopause, it helps on that side as well. Not that I'm menopausal, but I crush these quite frequently. But good palate cleanser and stay social and hydrated, right? And so, that's the Talus. That's a fun one.
I'd bring that for my wife, but she's not on menopause. She's on men on pause. That's
there you go. Give her a few of those, and maybe it'll help, right?
I think I need something with a little bit stronger to get it on. Whatever.
Just spike it. And so next up is our Chiquita Mexican Cerveza. So this was, I got my butt handed to me from some of the shareholders because all I wanted to do was make hoppy beers or sour beers or imperial stouts. They wanted something that was a little bit more refreshing, kind of meet the average person that was coming into craft beer. And so that's where our Chiquita came out of. There are a bunch of corn maize that's in there to kind of create some fun sweetness and body. And so, that's where that comes from. So just, again, another like most of these beers, just nice patio crushers.
This one's on Tuesdays. Taco Tuesdays with this.
Taco Tuesday.
Oh, brilliant! Look at this.
It's a great, like the can is perfect.
Yeah,
it fits that, and that's like even when you're saying Taco Tuesday and all of that. Cheers to the Edmonton Elks going for 4 straight.
There it is.
Let's do it. Let's bring it home, boys. Bring it home, boys.
Let's go.
Just easy and smooth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This goes down so well.
Hot day of that thing. Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy good.
Trev, that goes down, isn't it?
And so that one actually has a sister beer. It's our salted lime cerveza.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's like
lime
a
in a beer.
yeah, margarita in a glass and in a beer form. So.
That one's really good. I can vouch for myself too.
Yeah.
I was so pumped.
Did I bring anything that you haven't had?
No,
you could have just sent the beers with him, and he could have done this all for you.
Well, you saw me. I was a schoolgirl when you said it was Town Square coming in, because I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. How many beers of the week have I been to? Waiting for you guys. Finally.
For those that are just tuning in, we're with Brandon from Town Square Brewing, which is 2919 Elwood Drive in Ellerslie here in Edmonton. I got maybe one more we would be able to try if possible.
Yep, let's do
And then I think, because we got to quickly get to the wrap then, and then the hang up, myself, Steve Sandor, Jeff Krischel. It's going to be a fun one. Intelligent conversation, and I'm juiced up for that one. I'm juiced up for that conversation. Which one should we try now last?
So like I was saying earlier, the ever-trending New England IPA. So this is our megawatt. Tips and tricks. If you're going to be buying New Englands or hazies, store them in your fridge upside down. It's
Really?
It helps create, move a lot of the stuff around there, and it doesn't settle in the bottom. And then don't shake it, obviously. Like any beer is going to be a bomb at that point. But
Is there, because you have the sour any IPA here, is there any connection with this New England IPA? Or
yeah, so very similar kind of side of the recipe would be on the New England side of it. And then, yeah, like I said, the sour and the New England, we just did a blend.
Let's give this a try. Have you tried this one before, Gager?
I go looking for this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is like, if I said pick one beer from Town Square, this is the one you're going with?
Yeah, because obviously my favorite beer is the milkshake, the brain freeze. But if I need an IPA, this is a Gager go-to for the most part.
So for me, the cheers on this one. To you, Trev, and Zach to come. Well done this month. Well done. I know we still have a little bit longer, but you guys did a great job in this holiday time of EST. So well done, gentlemen.
Thank you, Maddie. Back at you.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit more of a hot bite in there, obviously, versus the New England, but then a little pineapple and guava and stone
delicious.
fruit, yeah.
You could taste that pineapple then.
Yeah.
That is very good. If people want more information on Town Square Brewing, how could they get that?
So our website, townsquarebrewing.com. And then even just hit us up on Instagram or shoot me an email at info@townsquarebrewing.com.
And once again, it is the beer of the week, Sobe Safeway Liquor. $15.99 for the 2D Town Square. $15.99 for a 4-pack. The 2D Sour Any IPA. Brandon, thanks for coming in. And we're just going to quickly wrap up with the wrap here. So, because we got to wrap up here, if you don't mind. You can stick around for this. Let's get to the wrap here for William Huff. They did. Look at this wrapping that they did here. And I think Dusty said this room's getting rewrapped.
It's getting redone.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
I knew the other rooms were getting, like the main studio was getting redone. I didn't know this studio was getting redone. So the beautiful wrapping from William Huff, this is going to change for year 2. We got to do text of the day. What else is there?
What did we learn? What did we learn today?
Boys, what did you learn today?
God, I had something there. I learned your love for starting things at zero, I guess, is what I learned today. I didn't know that.
Week 0, baby. Week zero in college football. Okay, college football, it starts this weekend, but week 1 is next weekend, really. It's always started next weekend. They just play some games this weekend.
Warm up.
Is this week 0 or week 1? Can week 1 go 2 weekends?
Are they counting it as points?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, then that'd be week 1.
But next weekend's week 1. So is this still week 1 or is this week 0?
Well, is the baby born now or when it says 1?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I agree.
Trev, what did you learn?
I learned Town Square Brewery has some damn fine beers.
Thank you.
That is
Thank
unbelievable. Yeah, so this is awesome. Definitely recommend. It was great. All those are just super crushable. And I will definitely be drinking a few more later today.
And I learned some people actually will still defend the Rouge after yesterday. And I'm very appreciative of that. Tube Socks, well done. You were the hardest defender of the Rouge, even though a game ended on a game-winning missed field goal. I thought it was going to be a tougher battle, but there's a lot of people that are defending the Rouge. Keep the Rouge. Matt Scianitti was wrong. He's not going to be commissioned to the CFL ever. And then we just got text of the day. Yeah. Oh, well, also sound of the day. Don't have anything.
Yeah, that's good.
There's no sounds. I'm sorry. Boom.
The
These
sound
F1
is going
sounds are
to
so-
Town Square for lunch and a beer at the brewery.
We got the Josh Clawson rap, which
There you go.
that's a long one. Text of the day, mandate John earlier. I just like it because, it's good for me. Boy, sometimes when you're having a horrible day and you feel like nothing can cheer you up, you turn on the TV, watch the Riders lose a heartbreaker, and suddenly the world seems a little bit brighter and life seems a little bit sweeter. Mandate John. Text of the day, winning $20 to ANW.
Beer me.
Beer me. What do we have to do? People have to text Beer Me, and they could win. Is it $50 to Sobe Safeway Liquor? Beer Me. Text it to 780-218-9999. That could buy a lot of 2Ds.
Yeah.
If you get that $50 to Sobe's and Safeway Liquor. Brandon, once again, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Gager, it's fun working with you today.
Hey.
This was great.
Everybody have a good weekend.
YouTube, Trev, thanks for carrying me through the morning show.
No, you
well
absolutely
done.
crushed it. I will say,
Yeah.
This might be your thing. the
No,
mornings.
I don't do mornings.
you
I
should've-
don't wake up. I'm here for 9 o'clock and I'm not coming sooner. Thanks to everyone for tuning in to the Nielson Show presented by Southport. Chev, coming up next, it is the Hang Up myself, Jeff Grishel, Steve Sandor. That's coming up on behalf of Trev, Gager. I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the Nielson Show here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I will talk to you very shortly.